This is a Miami Sports Music Podcast Network production. This is the #1 Miami fan morning show. Clock Blockers, let's go.
I know the whole city riding. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter collar.
Man.
Been trained to go. Like we throw the folk. Singing this just to welcome bro. To a time.
Therapy Monday.
To a time.
Therapy Monday.
Time to grind, time to shine. To a time. My intuition.
Good morning. Good morning to my Finlaws. What is going on? Man. Good morning to my family, my Finlaws. Clock Blockers, the #1 Miami fan morning show, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network, home of the #1 Miami fan morning show. I'm your host, Stephen Daniels. You can follow me on all social media at Stephen D. SKPL. Spread kindness, positivity, and love. You can also follow Miami Sports Music everywhere at Miami Sports Music, except online where we are at MIA Sports Music. Man, tough. If you're watching this morning, go ahead and hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Helps the channel grow. Need to do something good this weekend. Might as well help the channel grow. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that too by subscribing. We're actually at 30. We're 31 subscribers away from 11,000 subscribers. So go ahead and do that. It's a big deal. Make sure you all do that. Also, hey, look, if you want to sign up to become a member today, there are plenty of seats waiting at the table for you. So go ahead and sign up today to become a member of the family. If you guys want to help the channel grow by donating, there's a few different ways you can do it. You can use the YouTube Live Super Chat, which is the $ below the bottom of the chat. Or you can also use Cash App or PayPal, okay? Either one of those helps, and it goes such a long way into helping the channel grow. MSM Podcast Network or MSM Podcast Network. Use the QR codes that you see right on your screen. I want to give a big shout out to our sponsors of the show, ZSM Sports. ZSM Sports, the #1 place to get your cards, jerseys, balls, and hard-to-find items. Make sure you follow ZSM Sports today. They are absolutely amazing. Go follow them on Instagram at SportsZSM. Also, hey, look, if you want to follow Less's more events, go do that too. Lime Tickets. It is the best place to get prices for less than the competition, allowing you to have more fun. Give them a follow today at Less Is More Events on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 202-930-3533. And last but certainly not least, Tailgreeter. Download the free app today on your current Crapple or Android devices. Whatever it is, just go ahead and do that. Make sure you download the app. It's a big deal. It is Therapy Monday. What went wrong in Buffalo? We're going to get into all that. It is going to be a day for you, the fans, to call in and give your take on what happened and what your thoughts were. It is a day for us to reflect on the loss up in Buffalo, and we're going to see what happens and how that's going to work. So, a lot to talk about, a lot to get into. Where do I start? There's so many thoughts I had. I'm going to come at you from a fan perspective and an emotional one, and then I'm going to come at you from a fan perspective from, okay, let me really think about this. All right. My thought yesterday was I was so excited for this game. We were going into Buffalo. We were sitting 3-0. We had just beat a team 70-20. This is the team that I was like, holy cow, I've never seen this. This is a team that, looking around, I thought that this was the best team we've seen in 20 years. And to a certain extent, by the way, I still agree. I was emotionally ready to take care of business in Buffalo. Something that we have struggled to do over the last few years. and pretty much take that next step in the evolution process of being a contending Super Bowl team on a week in, week out basis. That didn't happen. That didn't occur. I can admit that I was wrong about Buffalo. My thought process of Buffalo was what the eyes have told me. And what the eyes told me last year was we had a lot of injuries and still lost the 2 games by like a total of 3 points last year, 4 points. We were ready to make that next step forward, not get creamed in Buffalo. For those of you who watched my show since the beginning, I have said on multiple occasions, I would rather sit, get blown out than lose a close game, because my thought process for the last 20 years has been, if we get blown out, we were just not good enough, and that's just where it's at. If we lose a close game, we were good enough, and it hurts, and it feels like your heart's ripped out into a million pieces, and because you were good enough to win, and something just didn't occur. A very smart man once told me, Jeremy Kahn of 105.7 The Fan up in Baltimore, who I used to be his producer for a show up there, would always say, good teams find a way to win. And I never quite understood that up until the last few years. Good teams find a way to win. And for me, I'm thinking we're that good team. We're better than mediocre. We're better than average. We're probably better than we have been easily in the last 10 to 15 years, maybe 20. But we have a lot of work to do. And so I went into this game thinking we were ready to take that next step, and we didn't. We got humbled. We got humbled real quick. Josh Allen owns the Dolphins. Like, there is no way, ands, ifs, or buts about it. He has the Dolphins number. He knows how to beat us. He knows how to play us. I don't know what it is, but when it comes to Josh Allen, he knows how to play Miami. And Miami just has not found an answer for it. They put up 48 points against us. Stephon Diggs literally did everything he could and did it well, and with the officials' help in some circumstances, against Cater Kahoo. Vic Fangio, I know that the fans on social media are screaming and calling for his head, and I'm like, hold up, it's just one game. We're still one of the, there's still a lot of things to, I don't want to say be happy about, but be encouraged about. Kahoo got cooked the entire game, but he's a young guy, and he needed that. That's how I'm looking at it. That's how I'm choosing to look at it. I don't know if it's personnel. I don't know if it's ego with Vic Fangio, but we're going to win a Super Bowl. The defense has to play better. They have to. Essentially, right now, there's 2 really good people on defense. 2. And I don't need to say their names. You know who they are. But that's it. I feel like that's all that's showing up. Now, I'm still hopeful, and I still got my hopium. And I'm still here ready for the Bills when we play them in Miami later this year. And let me tell you, it's going to be a different song. Miami understood a couple of things and realized a couple of things yesterday. That offense is unstoppable, or is stoppable. It's not unstoppable. It can be stopped. And the defense has to step up in other ways. We faced a real defense yesterday. And by the way, to be fair, we faced a division opponent who, if anybody's going to understand who the Dolphins are and what the Dolphins are about, it's a division opponent who plays us twice a year, every year, played us 3 times last year, and understood what we were trying to do. Did we get exposed? Maybe. There's some fairness to that. I know a couple of things. And by the way, this tweet that I'm reading from is from that Dolphins realtor. Shout out to you. I read this tweet and literally had the same notes written down on my phone, almost verbatim. So it's not like this is something new. This is not like some observation or there are other fans and other people that watch that agree with this sentiment here. Josh Allen had way too much time to throw. Way too much time. That man could sit in the pocket all day long, scope it out, and do whatever he wanted to do yesterday. The rush was not there. And in order to beat Josh Allen, you have to make him uncomfortable. I said that last week. I say that again now on Monday, on Therapy Monday. I'm telling you all right now, in order to win a football game against the Buffalo Bills, you have to make Josh Allen uncomfortable. We didn't do that yesterday. Kader Kahu couldn't make a play on the ball against Diggs. He was overwhelmed. 100% he was. I don't understand the non-adjustment. Well, if you see that somebody's getting beat, you got to give the next man up an opportunity to do that. And in my opinion, Xavier Howard should have got that opportunity. Now, to be fair, X on multiple occasions last year was not getting the job done against the number ones. So Vic Fangio could have thought, Kahu gives us our best chance. And if he ain't doing it, ain't nobody else going to do it. And there might be some truth to that. And Cam Smith wasn't up to the task. Why? Well, maybe he's young. Maybe he doesn't want to put him in that situation yet. I don't know. But Kahu was 100% getting smoked yesterday by Diggs. And to be fair, Diggs is a top 5 wide receiver in all of football. So it's not like Kader Kahu was getting smoked by a scrub. He was getting smoked by one of the elite receivers in the league. So let's calm down and wait with the pitchfork before we go after Kader Kahu. He's still a talent. He's still a baller, and he's still a dog. And in my opinion, you got to take this for what it is, and you got to learn, chalk this up to a learning opportunity for Kader. And hopefully he uses it to get better and better and better, which is ultimately what we want. He's still an undrafted free agent. He's still gaining momentum. He's still learning and getting better. So I'm not 100% mad at Kader Kahu. That's one bad game. Kader Kahu had more great games in a year in 3 games than Noah Igbenogany did in the 3.5 years he was here, or 4 years he was here. Let's just be fair about that. Yes, I'm still dogging Noah Igbenogany even though he's not here. Don't care what y'all say. Now, Liam Eichenberg. Liam Eichenberg is my new. I know that I was giving it to Eli Apple. But you know what? Liam Eichenberg is Jesse Davis in a different suit. Is Jesse Davis from a different suit. By the way, just to be fair, I know some Dolphin fans feel some type of way in the chat today. It is a free-for-all in the chat, to be fair, today. Tomorrow, different story. But today, it's free-for-all. Let the madness occur in the chat today. Got to get it out of their system. Got to let them get it out of their system, Chef Shoe. They feel some type of way. The masses have spoken. Eichenberg got blown up so many damn times, according to this tweet by that Dolphins realtor. I agree with you, my guy. The man just looked bad yesterday. And in my opinion, is probably one of the reasons that Teron Armstead got hurt. If you go back and rewatch the play, it was the truth. Cap for Life with his $5 donation. Good morning, beautiful but arrogant people. We are Matt Milano's bitch, Steven, 40 million for a DC. Boyer is laughing his ass off this morning, in my opinion. Look, I get it. I get it. I understand. I'm going to get to all that. But I'm talking about Eichenberg right now. And Eichenberg, if he's our best option, we don't have an option. Now, what the Dolphins need to do is they need to figure out, okay, where can the Dolphins go? Whether is there a free agent on the market that's still available? Is there somebody that's for a trade available? I still say what I said last week. F those draft picks. We have a team on the offensive side of the ball that can win a Super Bowl now. There are things that we need to tighten up. Do I think that a real center is going to solve all of the Miami Dolphins issues? No, I don't. Do I think that a new center is going to come in and make a difference day one? No, there's going to be a learning curve for that person. But I'm telling you right now, Liam Eichenberg ain't it. And if Connor Williams is still going to be out for a couple of weeks, Dolphins need to be on the phones looking at somebody. Don't know what it is. Don't know who it is. But there needs to be a solution. And Liam Eichenberg ain't it. As a fan, that's how I feel. As somebody who does a morning show every day and watches, the Dolphins, has watched every single Miami Dolphins game for the last 15 years, Eichenberg has had some moments. But he's been a big disappointment. A big disappointment. Here's the thing that I've been thinking about with Eichenberg. At the beginning of the year, I was very critical about the O-line and how things were. You guys saw watched my show, and I was very skeptical about the O-line. And I think that I had a right to be, and I still do. Now, to be fair, Mike McDaniel and Chris Greer were preaching to me, or us. Guys, the fans and the media are the ones that are worried about the O-line. We're not. Let me tell you something, Chris Greer. I love you. You're my guy. I'm pro Chris Greer. But if you ain't worried about the O-line or Liam Eichenberg or center after yesterday's game, I don't know what to tell you, my guy. I don't. Because yesterday, for me, we got to face Philadelphia in 2 weeks. 3 weeks. We got to face the Kansas City Chiefs a few weeks after that. I think we're going to beat the teams we're supposed to beat. I think the Dolphins are going to win the next 2 games, and we're going to roll into Sunday Night Football with 1 loss. But if we expect to put on a performance against a quality football team like the Philadelphia Eagles in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they better do something about that center position. They better do something. Now, do I think the offensive line is fool's gold? No, I don't. Rick, I have to disagree with you with that. I just think that yesterday, if any team knows how to beat us and by the way, has the personnel to do so. Not every team in the NFL, they might know how to beat us, but they don't have the personnel to beat us. Buffalo's a team that knows and has the personnel. They're one of maybe 3 or 4 teams that can do it. But the Dolphins ain't here to just make the playoffs, cuz we're here to win a Super Bowl. And if we're going to win a Super Bowl, we have to beat those 3 or 4 teams that have those that understand how to beat us and have the personnel to do so. I do think we will be 5-1 heading into that Sunday night game against Philly, to be perfectly fair. I have a few more things to get to, and then I'm going to bring in a friend of mine on the show here. McDaniel needs to switch up trying to go short and to the right. The run was working. Why stop? Again, this is that Dolphins realtor tweet. I 100% almost had the same notes verbatim. I wanted to give him props for his tweet. I agree with you. I agree with you. The abolishment of the run in that game and just not going there when it was clearly working. Let me, by the way, side note, let me get something straight. Devon Achane, that dude. The kid is for real. The kid had over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns against a great defense. Love him. Don't want to talk about another running back. Don't even want to have that conversation. Do not ever come up here talking about the Dolphins need X, Y, or Z at running back. We got Devon Achane, and in my opinion, he's already running back number 1. Now, Raheem Moser, I got some bones to pick with you, my guy. He played a bad game yesterday. Do I think it's fool's gold? No. But he's had those games before. So I need him to come back next week with a vengeance and be able to be like, all right, let's go. Let's change this up. But Devon Achane, that kid is the truth. And I got to give Mike McDaniel his props for that because, man, that kid looks all types of good. We can go far with him. We can go far with him. So I'm 100% on board with Devon Achane, and I think that he is, as the Dolphins realtor said, becoming that dude. 100%. As far as that's concerned, I don't understand why McDaniel abandoned the run yesterday. Made absolutely no sense to me. Once we got down by 2 scores, we needed to slow the game down. We needed to be like, okay, we need to grab control of this. And when we were down 21 points, we were still in it. That's the best part about this team. Even down 21 points, I was like, all right, we still got a shot. We still can do this. Didn't happen. I don't know what happened, but I do know it was a divisional opponent. I do know it was a divisional opponent that's arguably a top 3 team in the NFL right now. And Josh Allen has his number against us. Because for a minute, their defense couldn't stop us either at the beginning. It was pound for pound in the beginning. But they switched up. They made adjustments, which is one thing from Vic Fangio that I couldn't see yesterday. I'm not saying he didn't, but if he did, I didn't see it. I didn't see any adjustments being made on defense. And I damn sure didn't see any rush against Josh Allen, or at least if they did, they weren't getting to him. And in order to beat Josh Allen, you have to make him uncomfortable. I'll say it again. I'll say it 50 more times. Got to. Last but not least, and then I'll bring in another person here. The missed tackles yesterday were egregious. Egregious. That Dolphins realtor said the secondary should run 50 miles for all those missed tackles. Egregious yesterday. Now, there are some people that are saying Fangio told us what we were in for. Fangio said the personnel is not in the building. There's a reason that Andrew Van Ginkel was that dude too. Love him. Love the kid. Love him. But, man, I am getting a little disappointed with some of the personnel here on defense that's just not showing up right now. For whatever reason that may be. They're just not there. Now, can I give Fangio 100% of the blame here? No. Fangio inherited a roster that not necessarily his personnel decisions. But I can tell you Bradley Chubb is a guy that he likes. Why isn't Bradley Chubb stepping up? I don't have an answer for that. I know he's not. But he looked bad yesterday, as well as Baker did, as well as David Long did. There was some bad. Andrew Van Ginkel's essentially, in my opinion, and Javon Holland are the only 2 people on defense that have looked even remotely decent. And by the way, at times they both look like dogs. And that's a good thing. Christian Wilkins looked terrible. I was an advocate that the man should get paid something, but I can tell you 4 games in, Christian Wilkins does not look good. And he doesn't look like a guy that should be getting paid top tier dollar in the NFL right now. The one thing I'll say about Chris Grier is he gives players an opportunity to play for their contracts. He's given Wilkins an opportunity. You want to get paid $26 million? Show me that you're worth $26 million. And I can tell you through 4 games, he ain't worth 16. I'm just saying, don't be mad at the messenger. Go look at the stats. Go look at the film. I don't know. But I have another friend of the show who is an amazing man. He's not as good looking as me, but that's okay. Nobody is. Ladies and gentlemen, from East 32 Dolphins Tailgate, Mr. Cameron 954.
Good morning, Steve. Good morning, CLOCKBLOCKERS crew, and especially good morning to you, Level 2 Noob. Yeah.
Level 2 Noob tweeted me last night. He's like, hey, I just want you to know I'm going in. I was like, look, today I've had multiple people tell me they will be not taking any Buffalo Bills foolishness on the channel today because they were real quiet last week. They didn't say nothing last week. If they had said something, I think it would have been one thing. If they were trash talking like that, it would have been one thing. But they weren't even doing that. They were being real quiet. And now that they won the way that they did, he wasn't allowing them to come up in this chat and say nothing today.
I'm going to allow myself to get cooked over on Twitter by Level 2 Noob for nothing that has to do with the Dolphins, but the Marlins eliminated our Cubs.
They did.
On Saturday. Happy for the Marlins, sad for the Cubs.
Marlins in the playoffs, playoff baseball in Miami. I love
Tuesday night against the Phillies, which they have every opportunity to win that series.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good.
That's enough baseball talk. I don't want to start. I don't want to get the chat box all aflame over here.
Give me your thoughts on yesterday, man. Tell me your thoughts. Give me your rundown.
First of all, shout out to DJ Breezy, Two Fly, and Miami Sports Music. We had a great event down at Doral Billiards. Had about 100 people show up, all Dolphins fans, playing pool, having a good time. Despite the outcome of the game, the fans showed up, and it's a venue that's beautiful. I encourage all South Florida fans to get away. For away games to come down to Doral Billiards, right off the 826 and 25th Street, really easy to get to by the Miami airport. And the staff there was outstanding. Food was great, and we just had a really good time. My thoughts on the game, bro. The Dolphins had very little margin of error. I told you last week, and I told Solo yesterday, listen, whoever wins this game is going to win the turnover battle, and that's exactly what happened. We knew Josh Allen was going to play well, that the Bills were going to score. They've been doing it all season, and that they were vice versa. We were going to have to go tit for tat on scoring, and we did for the first 2 or 3 drives, right? And then Mostert with a turnover, and then a pick to come out in the third quarter, and then, another turnover by Mostert. So, despite the injuries, there was injuries on both sides. Despite who didn't dress, the opportunity to win that game was there in my eyes, and we had fatal turnovers. We abandoned the run, which you clearly underscored here. And I as much as the defense got exposed, and sure, I think that the personnel on this current defense isn't Fangio's probably preferred players in most spots, but they're still professionals and have to play the game. And the Bills are just a better team. And we have to be honest with ourselves and say that the Bills are a better team at this point in the season after 4 games. And I don't think that's a revelation. The old adage, you have to beat the best to be the best. And we didn't beat the best, so we're not. And I think the 70-point game last week was nice, but also gave this fan base a really overly inflated sense of who we really are as a team. like I think that's it. And we have to look at also we're 3-1, right? After 4 games and only 1 home game, we've got 2 consecutive home games that should be, dubs. We should be 5-1 after 6 games, and there's not a person in this comment box that wouldn't take 5-1 after 6 games.
You're not wrong.
So I'm not jumping off the cliff. I trust Fangio and McDaniel to get it right and make the corrections. I do think the Giants game will be a little bit more difficult than people understand because of the type of quarterback that Daniel Jones is. He has the tools that Josh Allen does. He just isn't as good as Josh Allen at all times, but he has the potential to be. So it'll be interesting to see the game plan Fangio comes out with next week. I don't blame.
Yeah, but the Giants do not have Buffalo's defense.
No, they do not. And so I want to see Achane, however you pronounce his name.
Achane, that man, that dog.
That man, Achane. We really need to see the run game. Listen, Teron Armstead, I think, is somebody that we shouldn't count on. When Kendall Lang came in, he played a good game on the offensive side. Eichenberg at center is a disaster.
It sucks to spend all that money on somebody like Teron Armstead, who, by the way, is a great guy, great leader. When he is in and playing, he's good. But you can't.
So we knew that going, when we signed him,
Yeah.
If he was good for 8 games, I mean, that's terrible to think, but we're expecting him to play half a season. And that for us to have that kind of expectation, I think, is setting the bar too low. And as good as
you put that on Greer.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
You believe me. What I know,
I love Greer, but I don't disagree with you on that.
I know for a fact that Teron Armstead is held together by duct tape and Flex Seal. It's and you can't go that you can't depend on that moving forward, right? And I know he wants to be out there for his guys, and he's a difference maker, and so is Connor Williams. And
you know how I feel about him, but he's down 10 times. He's better than Eichenberg.
He's the 4th best rated center in the league. Despite 3 or 4 missed snaps a game, which could be costly. The guy blocks a hell of a pass and a run. He's a pass and run blocker, borderline elite. And he was missed yesterday. The pressure at Oliver got up the middle, disrupted the offense. And it was
here's my problem. They knew Oliver would be. Like, that's something that's not new. The Dolphins knew that would be their game plan, and they still couldn't stop it.
But then that goes back to my point. The Bills are better than the Dolphins.
They are.
They have better personnel. They have. It's not about scheme. It's about one-on-one personnel. Espinosa and whoever else they had on the left side of the line, collapsed the pocket and held an edge. And then the third thing that the Bills defense did very well, and it's documented in the past that the Bills do this better than anybody against the Miami Dolphins, is they press man coverage like in your shorts. And Berrios, Waddle, and Tyreek Hill are all under 6 foot, and they're not physical guys. You bump them off their route, and so the Dolphins' offense is predicated on getting the ball out quick, 2.1, 2.4 seconds, and getting off the line quick. When you're bumping those guys off the line, it disrupts the offense. 2 is check down, check down, check down. By that time, the line's collapsing. So it goes back to my question to you, Stephen. Why did we abandon the run when we were having success running the ball?
It is one thing that early last year, after the Jets game, you and I drove to the Mets playoff game, and you were installing in my head, hey, he does that. I'm like, that's a first-year head coach. Let's do it. Well, now there's tape. There's tape, and this is not the first time. This is when he gets into it, he abandons what he knows. He abandons it, and so I don't want to question McDaniel because the man has revolutionized an offense for us, and it's tough for me to question that. But the fact of the matter is the run was working, and you just stopped doing it. And there's no excuse for that. I don't care. I would have, I get that we're down 21 points and you feel the need to chuck it. The man at any point in time can rush for a 68-yard gain, and that's just as good as a pass.
100%. And so I think that more lies on the shoulders of McDaniel and his ego, right?
Is it an ego thing, or is it
his lack of confidence in his play, in his own play? It's totally a McDaniel thing.
McDaniel's
and whether it's
on
ego or
and
lack
short
of self-confidence,
is the worst, Miami
or
kid Jay says.
Go back to Valdez's comment. You got to put that up, by the way.
Valdez?
Yeah.
I got to find it. Cameron, at your next tailgate, can we have a bunch of pillows laid out for all the people that are jumping off a cliff?
Consider it.
Look,
done.
Here's the thing. So this morning, I've talked about how bad they played. It's Therapy Monday. We're talking about the game. If you're asking me, Steven, give me some hopium. Here's some hopium for you. If I had told you, the fans, that the Dolphins, after 4 weeks, would be 3-1, have a quarterback who's in the middle of an MVP run, and by the way, he didn't play horrible yesterday. He had a couple bad throws.
No. Outside of that bad decision to throw the Chosen in triple coverage, he did his job.
He did his job yesterday. He put us in a position to
get a 98-point QBR rating.
Yes. So we have a rookie running back who's up for Rookie of the Year. We have a quarterback who's in the role for MVP at the moment. There's a lot of things to like about the Dolphins and where they're at. And I'm going to tell you right now, in my opinion, I think they win the next two, and we go into that Sunday night football game 5-1. Now,
beautiful.
If anybody here had a problem with that, they're lying to you. Nobody on earth would have had an issue with that. Now, I said something earlier that I didn't get a chance to finish my thought. For years on this show and other shows, I have said I would rather lose a game getting blown out than getting killed, or than losing a close game. I would rather get blown out than lose a close game. When you get blown out, at least you know you're not a good football team, and that you just got to chalk it up. That's what it is. When you lose a close game, you're like, damn, we were good enough to win. What happened? Yesterday, in my opinion, we got blown out. Okay. And in my opinion, it was the first time in my life that I would have rather lost a close game. It hurt. It hurt yesterday to get blown out by Buffalo. And I can admit that because I had it in my head, and maybe I pumped my own self up, but it wasn't like I was the only one. There were other people on board the ship with me that we were ready to compete against Buffalo in Buffalo, and it didn't happen. And that's frustrating, disappointing, and saddening. But today's Monday. We got to wake up. It's a totally different day. We got to get ready for the Giants. And we got to understand the mistakes that we made in Buffalo, we cannot make again when we play Buffalo again. And we will get a chance to exact our revenge on them later this year. Don't get it twisted. We're going to get a chance to play them again. And I don't think it's going to go the same way it went in Buffalo, personally.
So I love how people just inject so much emotion into a win or a loss when you realize, it's all X's and O's, right? You leave it on the field and on Monday it's forgotten about. You correct the mistakes in Tuesday's meeting. You implement a new game plan Wednesday and Thursday based on what you learned on Sunday and for the upcoming opponent. It's a done game. It's done, right? It's done. And you figure out what worked, what didn't, and you make those corrections, and that's on Fangio, McDaniels, and the rest of the coaching staff. So I'd appreciate if we could, and of course it hurt. It's humbling, especially.
It's humbling is what it was. You're right.
You put 70 on the Broncos, and you give up.
Cat for Life says, Steven, you were the ringleader. Your opium drug is affecting these poor souls' thinking.
He's like them crack dealers in West Virginia for sure. But listen, go back and watch the tape of that game and understand how big of a difference Deshaun Elliott is over Brandon Jones in this defense.
Mm-hmm. I knew Deshaun not playing yesterday would hurt. I knew it was going to hurt.
Well, I mean, it was evident.
100%.
Jalen Phillips not playing really hurt because of what he does, not so much himself, but what he takes off of Chubb and the rest of the line. Right? He creates pressure that
so
nobody.
The entire day, Christian Wilkins was getting killed because of it.
I mean, Christian Wilkins is in a whole other conversation that we can have here in a second. But as far as Jalen Phillips' impact on the defensive line, he does more to collapse, offensive flow than anybody else on the Dolphins defense. Van Ginkel, I think, is a close second to Jalen Phillips, and he showed why he should be on the field more so than Chubb yesterday. Mm-hmm. And then you take your interior, Seiler, Wilkins, and Davis. They got manhandled yesterday, right? And it's not so much about scheme; it's personnel, man. The offensive line of the Bills was much better than our defensive line, and it's not about. You have to expect those front four, and you could throw Hand in there and Agba in there as well to get pressure upfield, and they weren't penetrating. They didn't get any pressure on Allen. So, and the Bills were constantly playing, a single back and splitting that back out. And so they were either playing 3 wide or 4 wide. And so you put in your zone under pressure, and your linebackers having to cover, the tight end and the back out of the backfield. And so you're relying on that defensive front to apply pressure to Josh Allen. It just didn't happen. And you couldn't afford to bring in Javon Holland because he's playing on an island back there by himself because he's covering up Brandon Jones.
He has to. He has no
right,
choice.
Because Deshaun Elliott's not back there.
Correct.
Cater Kahu is getting, single coverage on Stephon Diggs. I personally don't hate that decision because up to this point, Cater Kahu has proven that he was able to do that.
Correct.
Stephon Diggs is just better.
And that's a bitter pill to swallow. I said that earlier this morning. I said, Cam, look, it's not like Cater Kahu, an undrafted undrafted rookie free agent last year, second year after an all-pro season, and his first time, in my opinion, that he's shown even any slight of regression. It's not like he got cooked by a scrub. He got cooked by one of the top 3 best receivers in all of football, who nobody else thought that they. Now, I would have had Xavier Howard try, but I can also understand why Fangio didn't, because last year Xavier was the number 1 in most situations, and he got cooked.
I don't know if I can't say he got cooked. Listen, Xavier Howard.
And by the way, I don't want to. This Xavier is scared to cover Diggs nonsense. No, that man wanted to. He said it in the post game. He wasn't happy with the decision, but he also wasn't gonna he's a team player. He's like, I get Fangio, but I want to play, and it's a pride thing for him. He said, I just want to play against the best because I think I am the best. He never got that opportunity yesterday.
Listen, from a speed, height, and weight perspective, just on measurables, Stephon Diggs and Cater Kahu are more aligned, right?
Yeah. And Cam
and
Smith,
it's not like Gabriel Davis or anybody else that they have playing wide receiver as slouches, right?
Can you explain to me why Gabe Davis always gets a touchdown against us too?
Because he's good.
Always, man.
I mean, I think that's the bitter truth that we have to understand is that the Bills are better at this point in time.
Yeah, and look, I was humbled because I tell you, this week I can admit I pounded on the table. I said that the Dolphins were finally the better team. I said that the Dolphins, the 3 games we played last year clearly showed that I thought the Dolphins were better than the Bills and that the Bills had regressed. I was wrong. I was 100% wrong. I was humbled by it. But I also don't think that we're a bad football team, and I don't think we need to be sounding the alarms. I think that, and I hope that the Dolphins take that personal. I hope they take it personal, what happened.
I'm sure they do. And
I hope that they put it in their back pocket and say, okay, boys, wait till we see you in Miami.
Listen, and
it ain't going to play out the same way.
And Tua said as much in his press conference, man. They're going to learn from mistakes. They're going to grow from it and move on. And that's what you expect from your team. You got the Giants coming into home, and and then the Panthers after
by
that.
the way, that's why I think we're going to kill the Giants, because they're pissed off about this week and they're going to take it out on them.
I don't know if I say kill. It's enough. Listen, the kill is, I don't know. We'll never see 70 points again. We'll never see what happened against Denver. That was just everything happening that possibly could happen.
Do I think we're going to score 70 points in a game again? No, but I think we're going to put up a couple of 50-point games again this year.
It's not about the points, right? I just want to see a dominating game. If it's 21 to nothing, I'll take that over 50 to 43, 42, like whatever. But as much as I hate Buffalo, we got to understand that, we just got outplayed yesterday by them. And think about those plays that we got beat on, right? I believe the first pass touchdown to Gabe Davis right on the right sideline.
Yeah.
We had him contained. Josh Allen used his legs. He made a play. Davis, he made a route. He broke off his route and streaked down the sideline, giving Allen the opportunity to make a play. And Justin Bethel, I believe, is the one who bid on the fake.
Yeah.
Listen, it happens. Cater Kahu and Brandon Jones couldn't wrap up Stephon Diggs. 9 times out of 10, they make that tackle. It's not a touchdown.
Do you think that the personnel that's on defense, Fangio can turn it around, or is Fangio just saying, I can't do it with these guys? This is not personnel.
See, I think that's a loser mentality that is just a storyline. Like Vic Fangio is doing everything he possibly can and will moving forward. Like, you have to understand, it's the 4th game, right? If we see this happen again in Miami, then we can talk about Vic Fangio, right? Like in January 7th. But as long as this team progresses and makes changes, and improves its quality of play throughout the season, we'll be all right. So to answer your question, does Fangio, he's not throwing in the towel. He's not saying, oh, this is all I'm going to do, so I'm going to give minimal effort as the defensive coordinator. I think that's preposterous to think. And every one of those guys on the field have pride as well. They want to do their best. They just got beat. And it's okay to say that. And it's 100%. Not fire Vic Fangio. I mean, for God's sake, the guy.
Well, I'll tell you, it was so funny here. I mean, it's funny seeing that in the chat this morning. It's funny seeing that on social media.
Because it's emotions.
It is emotion. I'm telling you all right now, Fangio's the guy for this defense. And I also said that there would be a learning curve, and people were going to be frustrated with that learning curve in the beginning. Let these guys get it. But to be fair, I also know that he was not impressed with the personnel to run his defense in the preseason and in training camp. So that's why I posed the question, is he somebody who's going to be like, this is what it is until I get my guys in here? I purely expect Fangio's defense, that the Dolphins by the trade deadline will make a move or two for the defense. They have to.
Maybe those moves are already in-house. Maybe it's Cam Smith. Maybe Jalen Ramsey returning. It does a lot to this defense.
I hope so.
And you have to understand that that's coming.
All right. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. It is Therapy Monday, which means you, the fans, can come up here, and this is your time. So I dropped the link. I pinned it to the chat. I want you to come up here. I'm going to bring you all one at a time. Feel free to say whatever's ever on your mind. I want to hear from you. If you think that Fangio should be fired, I don't agree with you, but I want to hear it. If you think that Bradley Chubb is a horrible trade that we made last year, I don't necessarily agree with you, but he does need to step up. But I want to hear from you right now. Come on, get up here. It is Therapy Monday. All are welcome that are from the Dolphin Nation. So get up here. We want to hear from you, Dolphin Nation. This is your time to express yourself. While we're waiting to come on, I do want to remind people here that next 2 games are home games. Okay, Giants, Panthers, which means If you guys want to come party with us, you need to come to East 32 Dolphins Tailgate. If you go to tailgreeter.com, download the free app, or go on the website tailgreeter.com, type in East 32 Dolphins Tailgate. You will get a chance to come up and you'll get to party with Cameron. I will be there for the Panthers game in my full gear, decked out.
What about the Giants?
I don't know if I'm going to come to that. I'm waiting to see. Book's still out on that one. But I will definitely be there for the Panthers game, no doubt. And we're going to have a fun weekend. We're going to do Dirty Sports Labs that Friday. And then we're going to do Dirty Sportswear that Friday at the Dirty Lab. And then Saturday is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do that at Bo Campers. And we're going to have the couch and the setup. And Nando Talk's going to be with us and a couple of other people. That's going to be good times. And then Sunday is going to be the best tailgate in the freaking nation. And is going to be, 400 or 500 of us there on Road 209. It's going to be dope.
It's great. It's awesome. And shout out to the Southwest Dolphin Club, Dolfreaky and Matheny and Finsticky and all them folks. Did you see?
They had Zach Thomas there this
unannounced.
Weekend.
He just showed up. Which is freaking kick-ass and awesome.
It was awesome.
Miss Fins, shout out to Miss Fins. Good to see you.
I'll be there on that Saturday on set. Yes, Miss Finn's going to be there too, hanging out with us. It's going to be good.
We'll also have some pretty cool items for auction for a charity auction deal there that Saturday at Bo Campers. Okay. I got to share that with you.
Okay, that's good. I'm excited.
It's going to be a lot of fun, man.
Well, I'm excited, and that Friday is going to be a lot of fun, and I know that some people are going to want to come. I think Chef Zhu's going to come out, Aldo's going to come out, and a few other people are coming out to the Dirty Lab on that Friday to hang out with us and do the morning show there from the Dirty Lab. So it'll be good. All right, let me bring on the first guest. Epps. Good morning, Epps. How are you?
Can you hear me, Steven?
I can hear you loud and clear, my friend.
I'm going to try to keep this as PG-13 as possible.
Hey, look, at therapy. Hey, you know what? Here's what I'll do for everybody. No swear jar today. No swear jar.
I don't have to swear to get my point across. The bottom line was we were going shot for shot with the team. The defense let them score on 5 straight possessions. And then we just crumbled. The whole team crumbled. It was a shit show. We just couldn't keep up. Vic Fangio made no adjustments. He just got toasted the entire game. Bradley Chubb was just nowhere. Christian Wilkins got pushed back like he was an actual Power Ranger in a kid's fucking show. It was so bad. Like, this loss is the worst loss I can remember in so long. I know you say you'd rather lose or blown out. Whatever. No, man, I would have rather lost by 3. This is so fucking bad, dude. Vic Fangio, I've been screaming this since the first game. This defense is a problem. It is a problem. We have been playing this soft rush 4. We cannot get any organic pass rush the entire season, and it's showing. And now the blueprint is out on how to fucking beat us, dude. And that's as simple as that. This was a bad showing by everybody. If I was an owner, this would be a team of 4. Tua, A-Chain, Holland, Andrew Van Ginkel. Everyone else, get the fuck out. Period. Dude, how could you have watched that and came across with anything positive? It was so bad. And they didn't make any adjustments at halftime. You're thinking, okay, we're going to make some adjustments. We're going to come out and things are going to be a little bit different. No, it got worse. It got worse. Josh Allen ate us up, man. Josh Allen has always ate us up. I will not put any more praise in this team. And I'm not going to come up here and blame Tua because it's not Tua's fault. But I will not put any more praise in this team until we can beat the Buffalo Bills. Otherwise, everything else is meaningless. Because this has become a laughing joke of the Dolphins versus the Bills. It's like Tom Brady all over again. We are being swirled around and our lunch money's being taken every time we play them. Do I think we're going to have another chance to beat them? No. I think they're going to put 60 on us. And you know what? We're lucky they didn't put 80 on us. We're lucky they benched Josh and put in Kyle Allen, because if they didn't, they might have broke the record. Because that's how bad it was. There was 0 halftime adjustments. Coaching, outcoached completely. Defense, non-existent. I don't know what was going on. I mean, I just don't understand if you can't cover Diggs, if Cater Cahoon's struggling that bad, double cover him. Make adjustments, Vic. Do something. A Madden player could do that. You know what I'm saying? If you're getting torched in Madden by the same fucking guy over and over again, what do you eventually do? You start manning up your safeties and double covering them. I mean, that's just simple fucking football. Like, what was Vic thinking? Was he trying to lose the game? I mean, I really honestly believe that there was just no coaching adjustments whatsoever at all at halftime. Did you not think at halftime we were going to come back, and it was at halftime you were like, okay, things will be different. We're going to make some adjustments. We'll get back into the rhythm of things. No, it just got worse, man. It just got worse.
Hey, Apps, can I step in there? And because you bring up a really, really good point. And I was thinking about this yesterday, and Steven talked about it. I do think there's some hint of truth to the fact that Fangio put his personnel on islands to prove a point.
Yeah, I mean, because it's just if you're a football. If you know football at all, even people who just played high school football, Vic Fangio is supposed to be a defensive guru. You're telling me you had no adjustments for what was happening to Cater Cahoon, an undrafted rookie free agent. You're telling me you had nothing. You had no idea of what you could do to maybe slow Diggs down a little bit. You're telling me you had nothing, Vic. Nothing. That was your answer. 0. That's my problem with the whole thing, is if we would have got blown out and we would have made adjustments and we would have tried, it would have been different. But I feel like even the coaches gave up. Tua had no chance back there. Ed Oliver and everyone, they lived in his backfield. Tua had no chance. The only good thing I could say that came out of that game is maybe the jiu-jitsu paid off, because Tua actually fell pretty good. He didn't hit his head. That's the only good thing I can say that came out of that game. Because and A-Chain. A-Chain's good, but let's be honest, guys. We're going to oh, man, we have this future great running back. How good and how long are running backs good for? That's not what we need, man. We're trying to win a ring here. You know what I'm saying? I get A-Chain's a great thing that's happening to us, but we have so many more problems than needing a running back. Chubb, dude, I don't know how, dude, this guy, I would honestly do like they did Chase Claypool and just make him an inactive, dude. Healthy inactive. You're done, bud. Just sit on the fucking bench, because that's where you belong. It's embarrassing of what I watched yesterday. Anybody that's a Dolphins fan that's not embarrassed, the Bills just went out there, bent us over, and beat the shit out of us, man. They beat the piss out of us, dude. And we didn't even try to fight back, dude. We were like Mark out there, dude. Just crawled up in a ball scared. It was pathetic.
Is there anything else you want to say before I let you go?
No, sir. And I'm sorry if I wasn't PG-13.
No, dude, I said no. I said no swear jar. This is Therapy Monday. Let it out.
Obviously, Cameron, I love you. I love all you guys. And I know you guys are trying to bring hope to us and make us feel better. But from what I saw yesterday, I just don't. I don't know if I can have hope.
Let me just say this before I let you go, Epps. I understand where you're coming from, because my hope was that we were ready to go pound for pound with this team and go 12 rounds with them, and we didn't do it. I thought that we were ready to take that next step in our evolution of becoming a competitive football team. So I don't know what that says quite about us at the moment. What I do know, what I do know, and we'll say this, is that it's a divisional opponent. And if anybody's going to play us well, it's going to be a divisional opponent who knows us inside and out. And you know what? Some teams just have certain teams' number. And Buffalo, for some reason, does have our number. But we get to play them again in December. And when we do, I think it's going to be a
It
good
just
one.
sucks because we went through it with the Patriots for so long. But
I know, I get
Steven,
it. But
thank you for letting me. Thank you for letting me vent.
I hear you, brother. I love you, man. Thank you so much.
I
for coming
needed
on
this,
morning.
man. I needed to vent, man. I appreciate it. Keep the hopium going because maybe I'll catch a whiff of it, man.
Hey,
have a wonderful day, man.
You too, sir.
buddy.
You too.
That's what Therapy Monday is all about right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. I got a line of people in the back. Stay on. I'm going to bring all of you on. This is great. This is a show for the fans by the fans. Are you out of here, Cam?
I'm out. I'll see you Thursday for sure.
All right. Will you be on Thursday? Is Tamaris coming on Thursday?
I believe so. She asked me about it last night.
All right. Well, awesome. I hope to see you both there. It'll be a good show. We'll see you on Thursday, buddy. Be good.
Listen, you all have a great day, man. Get it off your chest today. Today's the day to get it off your chest.
That's right. No swear jar today. No swear jar.
Even's your counselor. Get it off your chest.
All right, man. Be good, Cameron.
See ya.
All right, let me bring on the next caller here. My brother from another mother, Mr. Dolphin Don. What's up, Dolphin Don? Good morning, man.
Good morning. Hey, what's up, Steven? It's Cam. Well, Miss Cam. Anyway.
What's up, buddy?
Bro, the sky is not falling.
Well, I mean, according to some people, it is.
People that aren't looking, all right, don't have both eyes open.
It's Therapy Monday, Don. You got to let some of these people get it off their chest.
Okay. Well, I'm going to provide some healing therapy here.
Okay, we're ready. I'm listening.
And it's ironic the way I'm going to say this, but the Dolphins went into that game missing Deshaun Elliott, Jalen Phillips, and like him or leave him, Eli Apple. And also let's be real, Connor Williams, who were replaced with Eichenberg, and Eichenberg had to go up and play against Ed Oliver. I'll say that again. Eichenberg played against Ed Oliver. We had to start Cater Kohu against Stephon Diggs. Why? Because X isn't playing that well. I don't know what happened there. And sidebar, no Cam Smith, but still, hey, you know, it's one thing to sing to the plants, but you got to have some water for them sometime. And we didn't have no water. So, I mean, people need to calm down just a little bit here. The Bills were without Poyer. That was it. They were full strength in their house. Yeah.
I said, look, I said, Cater Kahu, you know, the man played against top 3 wide receiver in all of the NFL. I'm not going to sit here and say that he's needs to be, you know, we need to jump the ship with him. He had a bad game against a great player. Let's see how he bounces back on Sunday against whoever he's going to go up against on Sunday. But I think he's going to be fine. Now, as far as, you know, why he wasn't on there, I don't have an answer for you. I think he should have been. But maybe there is something to the effect of Fangio was there to prove a point to the team and to the GM and to Greer, like, we need to make some changes, and maybe we'll see them in the next couple of weeks. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, the getting back to the crux of it, Fangio doesn't suck. He didn't have
It's a learning curve. It's a learning curve to this.
Well, and also he didn't have his chess pieces out there. we're going up against the number 2 offense.
All of his chess pieces. That's true. And in order for this to work, I think we need all of the chess pieces. But in order to be a great football team, you have to have the next man up mentality. And right now, the next man up is not cutting it. And I think that needs to be addressed too.
And also, let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room. We were still smelling the flowers from last week. Yeah, we can beat anybody.
I was on that. I was like, bro, we just scored 70 points on an NFL football team. I was like, look, do I think we're going to score 70 on them? No, but I think as long as we beat them by 10 or more, we're good. That's what I thought we could beat them by. Well, I was wrong, or as Lewis would say, that's cap. So, you know, that's it. I got humbled yesterday. I can admit that. But I also think that we're still a good football team, and I also think we're going to win the next 2 games, and that is not cap. Those are facts.
Yeah, and these are facts. You know, we got to hand it to the Bills. They game planned. They were hungrier than we were, and they took it, man. My hat's off to those cats. You know, that's all you can say. Good, you know, classy fans. Even though they get on our nerves. If I wasn't a Dolphins fan, I'd probably be a Bill fan.
To be fair, Level 2 Noob was not the only one to hit me up yesterday about allowing no Buffalo Bills fans in the chat or anything. And so, look, I'm a man of the people. If the masses come to me and say, look, today we're not having it on Therapy Monday, I got to abide by the fans' wishes, right? I got to abide by their wishes. And today they didn't want nothing today. And
Right.
so I
That's fine.
respect everybody,
I do
but
too.
I love my fans, and I try to give my fans what they want ultimately.
Yeah, and I want a big
Because I'm
shout
a
out
man
to
of the
Color.
people, Dolphin Don. I'm a man of the people.
A man of the people.
I love you, brother. It's good to hear from you.
Good to hear from you too. And yeah, back to Color. I want to say, yeah, he was hung out to dry, but he was our only option. He was like our last line defense, man. That's it. That's all we had left.
We're gonna get it, man. Don't worry about it. We're gonna be
Yeah, I got every confidence. Sometimes humble pie is a good meal. So anyway,
all right, brother.
fins up,
Be good,
everybody.
man.
Yep,
fins up. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. I think this man's at the airport right now and is about to hop on a plane. So let me get him. What's up, cuz?
What's good? What's good, Steven?
I mean, look, it's Therapy Monday. It ain't great, but it's all right. Real quick, I gotta show you this real quick, just to give you everybody a little laugh. So the Miami Heat, we're taking photos for the upcoming season for the photo shoot. I need you to look at look at his hair. Look at Jimmy Butler's hair. He's got his hair down, and like, I don't know if you can see it, but it's you got to go look it up after this. It's literally, look at that. And they can't hold their composure.
That's horrible. That's a bad
hair.
look.
Look at that hair by Jimmy Butler. He said, look, y'all ain't gonna get me Dame. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna come out here looking like Prince. He got the Prince hair, man.
That's a bad look, Steven.
Hey, man, I think it's hilarious. Anyways, go ahead, man. Tell me what you think about the game yesterday.
Well, we got our ass whooped.
We did.
I mean, listen, there's no going about it, but let's break it down, Steven, and I'll pose a question to you. And I'm sorry, I was on the plane. I was trying to listen, but no, I couldn't get no damn service.
Well, I'm supposed to have you as a co-host on Mondays, but you've been bailing on me the last few weeks. But we're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there.
I've been partying my ass off. I'm not gonna lie to you. But
at least you admit it.
I gotta get better. But this week it was about the wife. It was all about
and and shout outs to her.
And she deserves it. She does. But let's get back. I'll ask you the question, Steven, because again, I think it was Dolphin Don. Shout out to him. Problem I have though is we didn't give them no excuses to Josh Boyer last year. Right? We didn't hear, we didn't have our horses. They didn't have this. Vic Fangio was supposed to come in here and change the culture. The man has coached in this league for 30 plus years, one of the greatest defensive minds. Everybody told me. The fact of the matter is, in 4 games this season, go back to the first 4 last year under Josh Boyer. Which defense was better in your opinion?
I mean, I don't want to answer that. I plead the fifth.
Well, let me break it down for you.
I'll plead the fifth, sir.
I'll break it down for you. Last year, week 1 against New England, held that team to 7 points. Okay, week 2 against Baltimore, bad appearance. I think Baltimore scored 38. Okay, I'll give it to you. That same Buffalo Bill team that dropped 48 on the Miami Dolphins yesterday, right? Week 3, Josh Boyer's defense held them to 19 points. Just saying. Week 4, Cincinnati going into the fourth quarter, 17-15 ball game, with Cincinnati coming off a Super Bowl appearance. You tell me, Steven. Because all I heard this offseason, right, from all the football heads, right, in our community, Josh Boyer was holding this team back. Now we got a real coach. It's going to be so much defense. We're worse. This defense is atrocious.
All right. So all right. Let me ask you a couple of questions.
Okay.
Do you think that Boyer is to blame for certain losses last year because of the scheme he did run?
No.
Well, you and I disagree with that then. Okay.
Well, let me ask you a question. Okay, let me ask you this. Yesterday.
No, you asked me a question, then I ask you a question. We're not going to keep on going back and forth.
Okay, I asked you one. Now you just asked me one. Let me ask you a question. Yesterday's game, did the scheme cost us that game defensively? Because all he
look,
ran.
to be fair, the defense didn't do anything. Like they
Thank you.
and my part of my issue for him was we didn't even look like we made any adjustments at halftime.
There were none.
Now,
there were none.
You know, and so I feel like one of the things that I was really excited about from week one, even though we gave up all those points to the Chargers, was in the fourth quarter or late in the fourth quarter, he threw it all out the window and made the adjustments, right?
Agreed.
He didn't do that yesterday. Now, I don't know if that's because we were down 21 or 28 points or whatever the case was, but we didn't do it. And so now, Lewis, what I think is here's a theory that I have. You might not like it, but this is a theory that I had.
Okay.
I think that the Dolphins, remember last year I said that I gave McDaniel kind of an out, that he was going to run the scheme a certain way so that he had a measuring stick for year two when things did or did not go right. He was able to have a measuring stick to be able to compare. I think Fangio's doing that. I think Fangio's having a measuring stick. He's like, I have to run it this way, and I have to give all 4 quarters to it so that I can ultimately measure each player up against whether we're down 21, whether we're up 10, whether we're up 50, whatever it is, so that he can say, this is what we should do in this situation, or this person works well. He has a grading scale or a grading system for each player that works inside of his system. Now, to be fair, he doesn't have a lot of the guys that he would want to run his system. His scheme calls for different players, right? That was why it was so imperative to thank God that Andrew Van Ginkel resigned. Thank God that was his first phone call, because Ginkel, along with Javon Holland, has been some of the bright spots on defense this year.
Right.
I don't think he has enough personnel of his personnel yet in the game to be able to run the game the way he wants to. Now, part of the reason you came here was with the understanding that you don't necessarily have a summer's eve and a full moon to be able to do this. You need to do this overnight, right? And he's not doing it right now. Now, there's a learning curve, but is that learning curve a 28-point loss in Buffalo? Buffalo has our number. They own us in Buffalo. There's nothing more to say about that than what it is.
Yeah,
I don't know how we get over that hump.
But you have to, as a coach, right? You have to put your players in the best possibility to be successful, right?
Yeah.
If he knows that the guys maybe can't fit that scheme that he's trying to run, I believe Vic Fangio knows how to call other defenses, though, right? I'm like, if you know the personnel that you might have can't run your scheme, well, figure it out. Do something else.
Do you think that Cameron's theory of that he was trying to make a point to Chris Greer and that's why he played the defense the way he played it yesterday is?
Bro, is that what we're doing? Like,
I don't necessarily agree with that, but I'm not saying. But I think it's an interesting theory.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I can do a lot of interesting theories. That it was dead wrong though. You're telling me you're costing games because you're trying to prove a point? Like, stop. The fact of the matter is, he didn't make no adjustments. And I heard Dolphin Don say something about it earlier. I think Xavier Howard came out and said that he wanted to be on Stephon Diggs. What is that about? Like, if Cater Cole, who is getting absolutely toasted, and your top line corner says he wants to take that assignment, why ain't you letting him?
Because all right, so talk about theories, okay?
Right.
And I hate saying this because I know where this is going to go. And I don't even know this to be true. I know exactly where this is going to go. Yeah, but I feel like I have to say it. I think there could be a rift in the locker room with some of the defensive players in Fangio, some of the elite. There's nothing else to me that explains why he doesn't make some of those adjustments yesterday, other than he's like, you're not good enough to do it. And the guys are like, well, screw you. What do you know, old man? Like, that's how I kind of look at it. I'm not saying that that's the case, but maybe that's the case.
That's what it looks like, right? When you hear a comment like Xavier Howard had yesterday, that's what it sounds like. Just saying. Just saying.
I hate putting that narrative out there. I hate putting that narrative out there.
I'm glad you said it before I did. Now we can blame you for it.
I mean, I know they can definitely blame me for that. But I thought about it yesterday in the Vic Fangio presser, and when I saw Xavier Howard's comments, I was like, whoa, is there a rift there? Is there a rift? I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Listen.
When are you coming back? You coming back now? When's your flight out?
I'm heading out now. We already left Vegas, but we had to do a stop in Phoenix. Now I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. And now I'm heading from Phoenix back to Tampa. So I think I land.
No layover in Jackson, huh?
No layover in Jackson, Mississippi. Whatever. Hey, when's the home game that you're gonna win the Fan Fest weekend?
I'll be there. Guaranteed, I will be there for Carolina. So I'll be there in 2 weeks.
Well, I will definitely be in the building for Carolina too. So will El Capitan. I believe so is Color. You're gonna have the whole TFTG. I think KP is also coming.
I need a place to stay. So if somebody has a place for me to stay, hit me up.
Well, shit, me too.
Well, then let's get an Airbnb or something.
Well, we have to talk about that.
All right, we'll talk about it.
I lost a lot of money. I bet $1,000 on the
sure you did. That's why. What does Steven do? He doesn't gamble.
I put $1,000 down on the Dolphins. $1,000
for the Bills game.
For the Bills game.
Lewis.
I was walking around like my shit didn't stink. I was talking cap.
Lewis.
I was talking cash shit. Yeah, it was bad.
I'm disappointed in you, Lewis.
Look, see that? See this? See that right there? That blonde right there? She almost wanted to divorce me. I almost came back single. Lost a lot of money, Steven. A lot of money. I did good on the tables and stuff.
It's that sports betting, man. It's that sports betting.
That Dolphin game that
Dolphins game got you. Came out and got you.
I took 2 ass whoopings. Watching the game and in my pocket.
And then your wife, that's 3.
Well, nah. I don't want her to.
You already in the doghouse. Yeah. Let's not make it worse.
Love you, babe.
Love you, babe. I love you, buddy.
Hey, I'm getting out of here. Y'all have a good one. All right. Steven,
all right. I'll talk to you soon.
Next Monday.
Next Monday, you were here in the building, live in effect.
Absolutely.
I'm not playing. No excuses.
We're good. Next Monday, I'm in.
Love you, brother. Be good.
Later.
All right. Miami Sports Music's Therapy Monday right here on Clock Blockers, the #1 Miami fan morning show. Greg, turn your radios down. Greg's about to go off. Go ahead, Greg.
What can go wrong will go wrong. This team is cursed. Every single time we're 3-0, we always lose, whether it's an ass whooping or a close game. It's the same thing happened a few years ago. We're 3-0. We beat 3 trash teams. Come up to New England, get our ass kicked. Same.
You're breaking up, Greg. You're breaking up, Greg. Greg, you're breaking up.
But he's a small.
Greg, you're breaking. Greg, the internet monster's got you. The internet monster's got you, Greg. Level 2 Dude said, thank God his phone sucks. I love you, Greg. I tried. I left you on here for a minute. Once, twice. You got to go out and come back in, buddy. I'm sorry. Good morning, Alex.
Hello, Steven.
Hello, Alex. Alexander Renee Diaz.
So are we really going with this narrative that Fangio's doing this out of spite right now?
I mean, look, I didn't bring it up. Technically, Cameron brought it up. And then I said, maybe there's a rift. I don't have any evidence to prove that other than my gut feeling. But my gut has been wrong before. Except when it comes to food, it's usually right.
Oh yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah. All right. So okay. So we want to go with that narrative. Fine. But can somebody answer me this, because I'm really I'm scratching my head to this. And why is it that Boyer got most out of these players and did better with less talent than what Fangio's doing right now?
Well, here we go. Okay.
That's what I want to know right now. Boyer did better with less than Fangio's doing it with more. Okay? They were top 5 against the run last year. Top 5. And they were 27th against the pass. With the defense overall was 18th or 24th. Okay? How's it this guy? Oh, Vic Fangio, a guru, defensive guru. He's going to turn his defense around. They look like trash the first 3 weeks, first 4 weeks, and they couldn't even stop a nosebleed if it hit them yesterday. Okay, they couldn't stop a damn nosebleed. They couldn't even
stop a nosebleed.
Yeah, they couldn't stop a nosebleed. Nor they couldn't stop a beach ball if it came towards them. Okay. So why? So Boyer gets more out of these players than what Fangio's getting out of these players, and Fangio's supposed to be a godsend.
So let me get this straight, and I'm you're not the only one to say it this morning, but now that you're like the third person to say it, or second or third, I feel the need to refute this a little bit. Everybody in the building was all ready to get rid of Boyer. Boyer this, Boyer that. Boyer's not good. There is not one person that could sit here and tell me with a straight face that they wanted to retain Boyer after last season. Not one.
I did.
No.
I don't think Boyer was the issue.
Alex, stop.
I called
Alex,
for
stop. Not one person can come up here with a straight face and tell me to say, hey, I wanted to retain Boyer. Oh my God, we're gonna be hurting that we let him go.
No,
not one person can come up here and say that.
Not that.
Now, with that being said, Alex, can we please, for the life of me, let this man have a chance to get to do things his way with the personnel he wants? I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight. I knew that it wasn't going to happen overnight. I knew there was going to be a learning curve. Now, I have to admit, I was ready for it to happen a little bit quicker, but it's only week 4. And it's against a team that has our number. Come on now. Let's be better than this. Let's be better than this, fans.
If we want to be what we say we are, and listen, by all means, I still think this team, let the record state, let me say this on record, I still think this team will win 12 to 13 games. I am not going away from that narrative and never will. Okay, I still think this team wins the division, and I still think they make a run in the playoffs. But here's the thing. You ever heard the saying about Ric Flair? In order to be the man, in order to be the man, you got to beat the man. Okay?
You brother. Yes.
That's Hogan, by the way.
I know.
But we didn't beat the man yesterday. The Bills are the man in our division, and we didn't beat them. And by all means, I don't think this Bills team is 28 points better than us.
Styling and profiling,
exactly. I don't think this Bills team is 28 points better than us. I don't think so at all. I think a lot of it was self-inflicted yesterday. You know, they could have tackled. I bet you $100 that they could have tackled a beach ball or a mannequin if it was just sitting there.
Whoa.
Okay,
a beach ball or a mannequin. Come on now.
That's how bad it was. Okay, you factors that you got.
I'm pretty sure we could have beat a beach ball or a mannequin yesterday.
I don't know, man. It was very bad. It was very distasteful yesterday. It was ugly and disappointing and disgusting.
Now, are you jumping off the ship?
I'm not jumping off the ship because, I said, I still think this team can win 12 to 13 games.
Are you of the mindset of like Epps that you are not going to give this team any props until we beat Buffalo?
No, if we beat Philadelphia, then I think we are going to be Philly. That's the next test for us after the Giant and the Carolina game. Is the Philly game? I think that's a huge test for us, and I think we are going to beat Philly on Sunday Night Football. But
if we beat the Giants, which I fully predict we will, I am nervous that Carolina could be a trap game. I have to admit that.
No, I don't think so.
I'm not saying that Carolina's good enough to beat us. I just think
No,
it could be a straight trap game
Carolina's
because we're
bad.
looking forward to Philly.
Bryce Young is a rookie and he's showing like a rookie.
I mean, I agree. I think they're trash. I get it, but that doesn't mean that trash teams can't win football games. We clearly saw that yesterday, almost a couple times.
Oh yeah, but
I have no idea why Josh Dobbs was doing what he's been doing the last couple weeks. And as much as I hate the Jets, they should have beat Kansas City last night. But I'm not going to go there.
Yeah, the Jets were as much as I hate the Jets. I hate that
the NFL made me think like have some empathy for trash quarterback last night that they have. I was having some empathy for the man. I was like, man, like I felt I was like, wow, I should never feel like this about a Jets team or a Jets player, but they were doing him dirty last night on the post game. Rodney Harrison.
Oh, Rodney Harrison.
Rodney Harrison did him wrong, bro. Just wrong. Talking about no, he trash. He's horrible. Stop. He trash. I was like, man, like, can you let that man live? Let that man do something. Shoot.
No. Oh, hold on. Jose Valdez, no, I will not change my narrative on this defense. You got me messed up if you really think I'm going to change my narrative on that defense. Even if we beat the Giants. Get the heck out of here with that. The Giants are trash. Okay? The Giants and Carolina are both trash. The Dolphins are miles ahead of them. Vic Fangio was supposed to turn this defense around, and he has yet to do this. And Boyer's done it with less talent at this point of the last season than Fangio has done. So I was on the train that we should have never fired Boyer.
You were not. No, you were not, Alex. No. There's not one person that said that to me. I'm sorry. Nope.
Fangio,
you're not going. Hold on. You are not going to come up here and tell lies on my channel about that one. No, sir.
I never said, yeah, let's go fire Boyer. No, I never said that.
There was nobody up here saying, "Oh my God, let Boyer stay. We're gonna miss him." Not one person.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say, yeah, oh my God, we're gonna miss him if we fire. No, I said, listen, if you're gonna fire Boyer, then do it. But I don't think he should be fired. But it is what it is. That I was like that. Okay, and you bring Alex, Vic Fangio, which Alex, I was all up for.
I'm sorry. Ain't not one person ever come up here talking about Boyer needs to stay. Not one fan said it.
But then why did he get more out of these guys than what we're getting out of Fangio right now?
Because they weren't his guys. They were Flores, and it was a Flores-led defense with Flores personnel. Let this man get who he needs in here. I'm telling y'all right now, I said we're not going to have a top-tier defense this year, but it's going to be good. But I said next year is going to be a top-tier defense because he's going to get the players he wants in here next year. Now, I think we're good enough to win a Super Bowl this year, and I hope that he's able to be able to do enough to be able to stop. Like he doesn't have to be great this year. He just has to be better than Boyer. Now, to be fair, he hasn't been. He hasn't been yet, but I think he can be there. But that's where I'm at. I got hope. I got hopium for Fangio. Okay,
I hope so. I hope so. This defense turns the corner. I'm really hoping it does. I'm hoping it does.
Let this man live. Okay, let him.
Fine.
Let him be good. Let him be good. All right, Alex, I got other people back here. I love you, brother.
All right, fine. You get the other people. I guess I'm not important, but okay.
I didn't say that, Alex. I just said I got to get to the other masses of people.
All right, Steven.
I love you, brother.
Man.
Be good.
All right, same here. You have a good one. God bless. Yep.
Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Let me bring on the next guest. Color. What's up, Color?
You know, I had something really cool, smooth, and decisive to say, and you had to say all that nonsense you just did for the last 10 minutes, man. I mean, really?
Color.
First of all, nobody
Color,
ever asked me what I
talk about. You were a fan. That you
nobody
were a
ever asked me what nobody ever asked me what I thought about the move. I was just going with the move that I didn't have the choice, and that Fangio was here, and I'm going to talk him up based on his historical record, based on his histrionics. But I was clearly of the thought that if we truly are a 28, 29 point per game offense, which we have proven to be this year, finally, why did we need to get a defensive coordinator to create a defense to hold anybody more to less points than we did last year at 23 a game?
I have a question. Did you say this? And I'm just going to
I
ask.
Absolutely did.
Did you say this at the end of last year in off season?
Absolutely.
In training camp, or in
absolutely. I said there was absolutely no reason. I was on the record of when we retained Boyer after Flores got fired. I was on the record saying I was perfectly fine with it because I didn't think our defense needed any coach at that point because they had the defense down so well.
Okay,
We went from 21 points a game to 23, and now we're at 48.
I'll say this, Color. Nobody on my channel that I can vividly remember came up here and said that on my channel.
Well, and that's fine. I'm going to put that aside a second because it really doesn't matter if Donald freaking Duck is your defensive coordinator.
Okay.
If you're 5-6 year seasoned vets still haven't figured out how to tackle in the NFL, what good is it going to do?
I can tell you right now, the secondary yesterday, with the exception of Javon Holland and the exception of the linebacker and Andrew Van Ginkel, the tackling yesterday was atrocious.
I disagree with in one respect. The fact that we're sitting up here, that these casuals are coming out because the only name they saw on the field yesterday getting scored on was Kohu. All of a sudden, we're going to pick him as today's whipping boy? I mean, are you serious?
But you heard me this morning.
We did this all last night, bro, about Cater Kohu, bro. I'm not having any of it.
And to be fair,
that is the best tackler on our football team. Look, he is the best tackler on our football team. And while having a bad day yesterday, he is the last person we should even be having in our lips right now.
And to be fair, and maybe I don't know if you'll agree with me, I think that's his first bad game of his career, to be fair.
What's a bad game? When you're getting hung out to dry by your coaches and your fellow players. Did you not see Brandon Jones finally? Did you see Brandon? Hold on. Did you see Brandon Jones finally pursuit to the football? Okay, go try to finally help Kohu on the sideline make a tackle and actually knock Kohu off the tackle. Like, seriously, bro.
Look, I agree with you. Like the rest of the defense, in order
there are 10 other guys we need to have their names in our mouth long before Cater Kohu.
In order for a defense to be successful, all 11 guys need to kind of be.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about Cater Kohu today. Okay. So like I said, he's everybody's whipping boy now because he's the name. He's the jersey everybody saw yesterday.
All right, hold on, Color. Let me just say this. I agree with you. It is a fact that he was probably Javon Holland, and Ginkel were probably the only three people that were doing decent open field tackling yesterday.
You literally had Chubb and Baker standing there holding each other's hands, exchanging recipes while Holland is literally struggling to bring down a tight end.
100%.
Right there in front of them.
But the only thing I will say, and I'm not mad at it. Okay, let me just throw this out there. I'm
absolutely livid because this ain't got nothing to do with Fangio or Boyer.
I'm not mad. Like, Cater was getting beat by Stephon Diggs, and it wasn't even close.
Of course he was. That's the third most productive wide receiver in the NFL last year.
And that's what I said this morning. I said, are we going to get mad that an undrafted rookie free agent who became an all-pro, second-team all-pro last year is getting
and beat to tell you the truth,
wide receiver
to tell you the truth,
I'm not.
To tell you the truth, he was kind of holding his own. One of those flags was ticky-tacky. We know that.
A couple
Okay,
of them were. A couple of them were.
and secondly, when Diggs broke away from Kohu, where was the safety?
Nowhere to be found.
So we're gonna pin that touchdown on Kohu because he's the one that got the pass caught on it.
Part of what
Wow.
part of what this defense, in my opinion, is predicated on is that these corners can hold their own against.
Bro, no,
wide
no,
receivers.
I'm not. No defense is predicated on that. Okay, I played football, and as an offensive player, we had to do pursuit drills right along with the defense.
Mhm.
Okay, every day at the end of practice, while we were already gassed, we had the coach throwing the football out on the field, and the entire team had to get on that ball, or we were doing it again.
Look,
and we would do it all night until the entire team pursued to the football. This is absolutely fundamentals here, bro. This has nothing to do with scheming.
Okay, but all right. So two things. Number one, you and I are in agreement that to be able to make Cater the whipping boy is unacceptable. Shouldn't happen. We both agree with that.
And then the other token, I would like to hear which play you saw yesterday with more than one guy pursuing the football.
I can't name one off the top of my head.
That's absolutely unacceptable, bro. Not by you, I'm saying by the team.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Oh, absolutely unacceptable. Now, if you're talking about holding coaching responsible because of lack of preparation, now we can talk. But it ain't got nothing to do with scheming.
I don't disagree with you.
Or play calling or whatever. Now, granted, he didn't make no adjustments. I get it. But one of the things you said earlier was he made adjustments at the Chargers. He finally got smart. No, he didn't. We finally had them with 1:30 left, and they couldn't run the ball anymore. They were forced to pass. And that's where our defensive strength is. When we know that a defense or an offense can do nothing but pass, we own them.
All right. So yesterday, are you pissed off at Fangio for not making adjustments?
I mean, I wouldn't say mad. I'm wondering what adjustments he could have made other than personnel adjustments. Like we signed Cameron Good to the practice squad 2 seasons in a row. We call him up 3 times, and because of that, we had to sign him, and we did. Yet Fangio stares at all that bad tackling yesterday, and he don't even get 1 snap. I've been saying since we drafted Cameron Good that he was brought in to pursue a running quarterback on the edge, to contain a running quarterback on the edge. Yet Josh Allen, the king of that, and we see no Cameron Good. Would they even bother signing him for?
Do you think that Cameron is off with his theory that he was there to prove a point yesterday by making the decisions he made?
Well, if that's all fine, but then we need to stop talking about contending for the Super Bowl. Because the fact of it is, the last 4 seasons in straight, our average points per game given up is 22. And if you're telling me after putting 70 points on an NFL team that we can't guarantee 26 points a game, that's absolutely ridiculous. And it is still on the offense. It doesn't matter how atrocious our defense is.
We win the next 2 games. We go to Philadelphia. We play well against Philly. Win or lose, we play well against them. Is your mindset different?
Of course. We need to be able to rebound against the Giants and smash them. In other words, we were supposed to win close yesterday. We didn't do it, and we got embarrassed. We were supposed to smash. Now you understand now why everybody. I did the whole time. I wasn't having none of it. But now I think people can understand why they saw Denver as a trap. Okay, because of this right here. What I'm trying to say is on Friday.
I just said earlier I felt like Carolina would be more of a trap game than.
Well, hold on. Let me explain what I mean. We had a big hype show, like big hype week. I mean, we were all over, and believe me, it sucks. But the Fins Tailgate has got quite a bit to eat this week. We get it. We'll take that. Because I hate Buffalo so much, I don't care if we're 1-15. I'm still going to go hard against them. Okay, so I accept that. That's embarrassment. Okay, fine. But when we were having a hype show at Friday or Saturday, somebody asked the question to the panel. Okay, everybody seems comfortable. We got the tools. We got the capability. We can do this, right? What is your one concern if you have one? Because they were trying to, get us to pump the brakes, right?
Yeah.
And I said, you can go back and watch. My one concern this week, the only one I had, despite all of the mistakes we've made throughout the weeks, despite the condition of our defense, everything else, the one concern I had going into yesterday was lack of execution. That's it. Because I firmly believe and still believe that this team can beat anybody in the league if we execute at a high level. And we just didn't do that yesterday. And that's what everybody was worried about.
Do you think that
are we going to fall flat? When you say, are we going to come out flat? Are we going to show up? Those kind of words. You're saying, are we going to execute our game plan at a high level? And we just simply don't do that on these stages, it seems.
Well, we don't.
It seems.
Against Buffalo, I will admit. I don't know what it is against Buffalo.
I said stage for a reason, because we came to this pinnacle last year going into San Francisco.
Week 4 in Cincinnati?
No. Cincinnati. I know. San Francisco.
Okay.
Because of what happened with the injury against Cincinnati, we'll never know. But we had a chance to check that box and basically shape the entire rest of our season with the playoffs and our seeding. And we did exactly what we did yesterday against the Niners.
Give me your last thought before I bring on the next.
Bro, it is not the end of the world. The season is not broken. I
still believe, Color.
The reason they played the way they did yesterday is because I was right. They had more pressure on them given the consequences of losing than we did. And we played like we had little pressure. And we got embarrassed because of it.
Do you think that the 70 points gave the players a big ego?
Nope.
Okay.
And it should have anyway. We obviously didn't harness that ego and execute yesterday.
I'm very disappointed in yesterday's loss, but I don't think it's the end of the world.
Again, it's not the end. Season's not broken. But for the same reason I believe why they played so tough yesterday is the same reason we're not out of it. We're only a half game back of the division lead. And we got 3 quarters of the season left to go, and we're sitting in a good position. So it's not the end of the world.
We're 3-1 after 4. I feel like 95% of the fan base would be like.
But I can understand why recency bias will have a lot of people packing it in already. I understand. I'm not either. But here's the thing. I do want to end.
My final question.
I want to end with a positive.
I got one final question.
Sure, but I do want to make sure to end on a positive. I'll answer the question.
My
go ahead.
question for you before I bring in the next guest. Do you feel that teams can evolve or get better throughout a season?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
And it's hard to improve on what we did last week. The improvement would be to follow up a similar performance, not points wise, but a similar performance against somebody like Buffalo.
And the reason I asked that question is because I want people to understand that what we did in week 4 this week doesn't mean that's what we're going to do in week 13 or 15.
The Broncos put up 31 yesterday, bro.
Yep.
And won their game. So, let's pump the brakes.
They were down.
And this is why I wasn't one of those who was trying to diminish what we did last week, because it was still an NFL football team.
Yep.
And we did what we did before the third quarter was even over. So the 70 points is nonsense. Okay, but we did what we did by halftime. So, that wasn't an aberration. One other thing I want to say, just to end on a positive note. There was something I saw yesterday that was good. There was one thing good yesterday I saw.
Devon A-Chain.
Jalen Waddle. Way to keep your eyes on the football. He watches my show, bro. Did you see that catch, man? And I know that's like nonsense, but bro, it's because he kept his eyes on the football.
Hey, whatever you got to do
to
tell yourself that, Color. I'm sure Jalen watches the Finn's Tailgate more than any other YouTube out there. I'm just
anybody thinks that's a lucky catch.
He listens to Color commentary.
That was all eyes on
I'm
that ball, man.
I'm putting that theory out there. Let's go.
He took that ball out of the air. Go watch it again in slow motion. Anyway, thanks, guys. Fins up. We ain't dead yet.
Love you, brother.
By far from dead. So have a good one, man.
Be good, color. Next. Let me bring on this guy. This guy coming up next. I have to admit, I love him. He's a good guy. I don't know what he's thinking about when he just has his hand on his face and he's staring up at the world. And he's just thinking, why did I become a Dolphins fan? Why do I deal with this nonsense sometimes?
I think that's what we all thinking, Steven. Good morning.
Good morning.
So we're not dead yet, and I agree with Color. We're not dead yet because we have a couple other scrub teams to play. Thank God we don't have no real powerhouses because we see what happens when we go against a powerhouse. I mean, we went against a team that was top 5 in offense and top 5 on defense, and what you end up with, getting your head smashed in.
Okay.
All right. Fangio, what's worrying me is the fact that we don't make in-game adjustments, and we have a head coach that don't really make in-game adjustments as well. So that worries me that we can't make in-game adjustments because I get it. Cater's out there putting X on him. I don't think that would have helped. I think X would have been barbecue chicken as well when it comes to Diggs because that's the history. History has shown us that Diggs owns him. And apparently Cater right now is probably getting counseling from the ass whooping that he picked up. I sat there. I literally said after that second touchdown that Diggs caught on him, I was like, he probably needs counseling at this point. He probably needs therapy. Cater should be here. We should all be consoling Cater right now. That's how bad that whooping was. It was ridiculous. One of the plays, I literally saw Sherfield in the backfield, and I was like, oh, Sherfield's about to get the ball. He runs out of the backfield because literally the running back was at receiver. Sherfield is in the backfield. Hey, well, I wonder what's about to happen on this play. Why is Sherfield wide open? Butt booty open. Nothing. Nobody around him. Streaking down the street completely unhindered, unbothered, caught the ball first down. I was just like, okay, so this is what we're doing. We saw this Fangio defense against the San Diego Chargers. Worthless.
Los Angeles Chargers.
San Diego, Los Angeles. Anyways, I don't give a damn. They're worthless. All right. The defense was absolutely worthless against them.
You need to get it
absolutely. I'm sorry. Secondly, what was it? Against the Patriots, for some reason, we couldn't put them away. We couldn't just clamp down. We couldn't put away. Patriots stayed in the game. Thank God we had Denver. That ain't worth the. That's when Russell Wilson is completely washed, and our offense was high powered. And I sat there and said, and before the game started, I was all for it and saying, hey, you know what? We finally got an offense that could dictate the game. Not our offense play, but our offense could literally dictate the pace of a game. Mm-hmm. Too bad our defense cannot keep up with that pace. That's the issue right now.
I mean, we were there at the beginning, pound for pound.
Yeah, pound for pound. But the thing is, we can't stop them. They're going blow for blow. You don't want to go blow for blow. You don't want to be high. No, you don't want that. What we saw, we don't want that. You wasn't going to go win a shootout in Buffalo. Maybe win a shootout in your house. Yes, at home you probably can win a shootout, but you don't want to go win a shootout in Buffalo.
No, that's true.
No, I don't care what. I don't care if it's early in the season or if it's late when it's cold and rainy. No, you don't want that. Oh, you don't want shootout. You don't want shootout. So now we have who we have. We have coming up. We have the Giants, who's 1-2, and the Panthers, who's 1-2. Wait, Panthers are 1-2 as well, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
So I could completely. We all could agree that both of those teams are worth nothing, right?
Oh, correct. I would agree with that.
So you keep saying if we go play a good, so we beat those teams. We're 5-1, right?
Correct.
And we go to Philly and we get our nose kicked in. What are we? So let's have that. Let's have the other side of that conversation.
All right, so I know. Yes. All right, hold on before you go on. Let me answer the question. I don't like the question. I just want to throw that out there. I think it's a BS question. Now, with that being said, you asked it. It is
Hold on. Let me try to
Monday.
switch up my mic. Hopefully this doesn't go away.
Yeah. Well, while you're doing that, I'll talk. I don't like your line of questioning there. But to be fair, I will answer it because you are a fan and this is a fan show and I want to be a man.
I think it's a fair question. I think it's a fair question to ask.
If the Dolphins go the next two and they kill whoever,
Mm-hmm.
and then they lose to Philly. Now, if we lose to Philly in a close game, we're right where we need to be. If we get killed by Philly the same way we got killed by Buffalo, I'm going to seriously question what type of team we are.
And that's fair enough. That's fair. That's what I'm saying. It's fair to have that type of conversation because, yeah, a mid-level team probably could beat the scrubs day in and day out, right? I think we're high-powered enough where we could beat those scrub teams. But if you're talking about real contenders, other teams that are Super Bowl contenders, and if we can't beat them, what are we really doing?
Well, look, I came here to win a Super Bowl. I didn't come here to just make the playoffs. And so for me, if we can't beat those Super Bowl contending teams, then we need to figure out what we need to do to beat them. And if that's making personnel changes, if that's making some coaching changes in certain areas, whatever it may be. Now, I just want to say for the record, I think Fangio's the truth. I think he's going to be fine. And I think we're going to move on. I think there's a learning curve with Fangio, and we're going to be fine from there. Okay.
No, we're not. We're not going to be fine.
I disagree. I respectfully disagree.
No, you could respect. I get it. But here's the reason why I think there's an elephant in the room that nobody's talking about is that Fangio.
By the way, do you have YouTube on? Did you have YouTube on before this on your phone that you're doing this on?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, take YouTube off and then come back on. I think that's part of the problem, that your mic is the way that it is. I'll give him a second to come back. I got two people in the back. Stay up here, gentlemen. I'll bring you on. I just want to give Vonjo a minute to try to fix his mic because he's got the mic. Why he's doing that, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. If you haven't hit the like button already, only 73 likes, over 170 of y'all in the building. Hit the like button. It's Therapy Monday. I'm here for you, the fans, and that's what we do. All right, let me bring him on. All right.
Any better?
Yes.
Okay. So, as I was saying, there's a big elephant in the room that nobody's really talking about, right?
Okay.
Fangio's defense is usually the front getting pressure, the front four, right?
Okay.
Getting pressure and the back end really holding, right?
Yeah.
The issue we have is our front four has never gotten pressure since the days of Flores. We're not organic pressure. Hold on, real quick. Let me just make this point.
Defensive-minded coach, and he brought in that personnel for that.
But hold on. Before you jump,
Batman?
No, I said before you jump, all right, and start, batting things around. Listen, what I'm saying is, even with Flores, we did not get organic pressure. We got pressure through that zero blitz.
Correct.
Our four linemen down there that we put on, no, they couldn't get pressure by themselves. They never beat their man one-on-one. We couldn't do that even with Flores, with Boyer, same issue. We had to go, when we can't get pressure, we go to the zero blitz to get pressure. Fangio, he can't get pressure. He started blitzing people to get pressure. We do not get organic pressure. We don't have guys that get organic pressure.
Because of the personnel that we have.
Yes, we don't have those guys to get organic pressure. They've shown you we can't get organic pressure.
Vonjo, I know I sound crazy. I know people think I'm crazy for this. If personnel is part of the issue here, and not necessarily play calling or scheme, defensive scheme, shouldn't we say F those picks and go get who over in LA? Because he can give you organic pass rush?
No, you can't go get him.
Why?
Cap issues.
Because
the thing is,
it wouldn't matter for this year. I'm worried about this year. I think we can win a Super Bowl this year.
He's not enough. He's not enough to help for this year. Because here's the funny thing is Chubb played under Fangio. He's supposed to
But
resurrect Chubb, and
he has not showed us.
Chubb has shown he's not worth a penny that we gave him. Outside of that script fumble where he chased down block, nothing.
He's not
Phillips,
done what I was hoping he was going to do.
I heard Cameron talk about Phillips. Are we missing Phillips? Phillips hasn't done anything either this year. Keep it real. Let's keep it a buck. Our DNs, both of them have done jack squat. The only DN that we've had that played on the edge that's actually shown that he's worth a damn is Van Ginkel. That's all. That's the only
I
person.
love Van Ginkel.
Even Ogba has more. I think Ogba has like 1.5 sacks.
And an interception.
He's been outperforming Chubb and Phillips. So
I want to state this for the record. I don't think one player is going to change.
And here's the thing.
Hold on.
Wants to go get his linebacker.
I just want to state this for people in the chat because I see y'all getting at me about the Aaron Donald comment. I don't think that one player is going to save the team.
Mm-mm.
But part of what makes this off defense good is having an organic pass rush, which we clearly do not have. If the Rams are losing and Wilkins is not proving to be the player that we were hoping he was going to be, to me, it makes more than enough sense to go out and go get Aaron Donald and make the money work next year. We can make it work for this year real easy. Next year is where we would have to make it work. And I think that we could. In my opinion, that would be what I think we should do.
So
now,
Steven, really,
I know that's fool's gold. I know that's asking for it, but we got Tyreek Hill. We got Jalen Ramsey. Let's go get Aaron Donald and call it a day. That's where I'm at with them.
No, you put yourself in a bind. You put yourself in a bind, and if you don't win it this year, you're pretty much screwed. And I don't think he's that pivotal piece to big. Because the thing is, our linebacker core.
I respectfully disagree. I think Aaron Donald. I understand that he wouldn't be the only thing that we would need, but man, he would. Oh my God, he would. I think he would change a lot of this defense.
Because let me tell you this, and people are probably going to lose their mind when I say this. I think Ramsey, even in Ramsey play, we probably have that same issue. We probably don't lose. Hold on, we probably don't lose as bad, but I think it will be It'll be an issue to a degree.
Stephon Diggs doesn't beat Cater. He doesn't beat Jalen Ramsey the way he beat Cater yesterday.
Unless Ramsey is going to mirror him, he probably just go sit there and beat up on X, and they don't throw it Ramsey way. Because here's the thing. This defense is predicated on that front four getting pressure and making the quarterback make quick decisions. These quarterbacks been having all day over there. Oh, let me go ahead and dissect.
Josh Allen had all day to do whatever he wanted to do yesterday.
Exactly. Like, all right, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and jump past here. Touchdown. Oh, okay. And the thing is, it would have been worse because one of those touchdown passes were actually dropped.
I disagree with two things. I think Jalen Ramsey would have made a huge difference yesterday. He's the best cornerback in the league, arguably. And I think that, in my opinion, it's worth giving up the farm for Aaron Donald, in my opinion. And I know people don't think that way, but Aaron Donald changes this defense dramatically. And by the way, we still had a lot of people out yesterday too, right? So I mean, look, I personally
don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that because they didn't have their starting safety. Poyer wasn't even playing.
And then Tre'Davious White ended up going out in the third.
Exactly. He has a torn Achilles. I'm not trying to.
Is he out for the year?
Because here's the thing: people said that. Oh, yeah, he's done. He has a torn. That Achilles is torn. He's done.
He knew it as soon as he was down too.
Oh, I felt bad for him.
I don't want to see anybody get hurt. I felt bad for him. Yeah.
When I saw the way he was reacting,
I was like, here's the thing. I want to beat Buffalo at their best. I don't want to beat them at their worst because if we beat Buffalo at their best, that means we're there.
Steven, real quick before I go, right? Because I got to get back to work.
And I got people in the back.
Yeah, because here's the thing. What we saw was literally the Bills doing what they want to do with us.
Yeah.
Right? Yep. And Ramsey, the reason why I say I don't think Ramsey would have helped is because our front seven was completely useless. They weren't getting pressured. The Bills did what they wanted, right? Josh Allen had all day to throw, and your DBs could only cover for so long. right? And that's what we saw is that they were just our DBs just broke because again we couldn't get no pressure. This guy from Tennessee that we got, David Long. I mean, I don't know
Look,
why he's
man, I'm
here.
disappointed in him because I thought he was going to be so much
I'm
better.
gonna say bring back Landon Roberts because David Long is.
Whoa! Hey, for those of you who haven't watched my show for 3 years, understand that Von Joe's big, like the way Noah Ibenagany was for me and Landon Roberts was for Von Joe. So for Von Joe to make that statement is huge.
Crash Out Roberts would have gave me at least one big play.
Oh my goodness!
David Long didn't give me jack squat.
This is breaking news here for you, buddy.
He couldn't even find a hole either. So
I thought I've heard it all from you. Wow,
no,
you said you'd rather bring a Landon Roberts.
I'd rather bring in Landon Roberts
Roberts. I just want to state that for the record.
Landon Roberts, at least he gives you one solid play for
but
sure.
I know you did not
out of the blue. Landon Roberts is going to give you one play. I don't know what he's going to do the rest of the game, but Crash Out Roberts, he's going to give you that one play, right? So it was bad, man.
I love you, man. It's gonna be okay.
I love you too, man. But yeah, we're gonna win the next 2 games. And to tell you the truth, I'm just looking at Philly to see how our front is gonna hang against Philly because I don't know if Connor Williams should be back, but Armstead is out. So I don't know what we're gonna look like up there. I don't even know how long Armstead is out. Do we have any word? I know it's a knee issue. Is he out? Will he be back by Philly?
Bit, but we don't know at the moment. But I think it's gonna be for a little bit. So
because if Oliver gave us issues in the front, I don't even want to know about. I don't even want to know what it's going to look like against Philly's front because that could be an ugly game for us, Steven.
We'll have to see. All right, man. I love you, brother. Be good, man.
Take it easy, man. And no matter what, it still fins up.
Fins up, baby, all day. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. It is Therapy Monday, which means you, the fans, get to come up here and you have your therapy sessions, man. That's what we do. I am here for you, the fans, to give you a platform to let it all out. There's no swear jar today. We're out here. Hit the like button if you haven't done so already. And understand, guys, we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine, okay? We're going to be all right. We going to be all right. John, tell him we gonna be all right, John. Tell him.
What's up, Stephen D? How are you, brother?
What's up, brother? I miss you, man. How you doing?
I can't complain. I mean, ugly game yesterday after the first quarter, but
it was an ugly game yesterday. Yes.
My big thing is, and I missed the beginning of your show, so unfortunately I didn't hear everybody you have on. Right now, looking at it, and I watched it again, I'm blaming 2 people.
Okay.
Coach Mike and our defensive coordinator. I think Coach Mike's first 15 plays were scripted, did absolutely fantastic. When that ran out, he had no answer. We couldn't move the ball, couldn't sustain a drive, kept putting the defense back out there. I love Coach Mike, and sometimes I think he outthinks himself. The first 2 drives were just absolutely amazing, right down the field. And after the first 15 plays, we couldn't do anything.
I think that Mike McDaniel. So let me say this: Mike McDaniel abandoned the run. Like, there's no doubt about that in my mind.
Again, he did the same thing on the West Coast trip last year against San Francisco and LA Chargers.
And he clearly told me this year that they were going to not abandon the run. Like, he was going to stick with it.
And we're going to be more balanced.
And at the first sign of, and by the way, there was nothing that showed me that you should abandon the run yesterday. That was the other problem.
Right, exactly. I think he outthinks himself instead of just calling the plays. And again, yesterday you saw where the plays were coming in late. They're snapping the ball with 2, 3, 1 second to go, which now the defense can key off on that because there's not.
So your theory, and I don't mean to interrupt. Your theory, and I'm not trying to question you. I'm just trying to get where your head's at. Is that he was overthinking it and questioning himself come the second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter?
He outthinks himself. He's a great mind. He's amazing with what he can put together. The problem is you look at the West Coast trip last year, you look at the Jets game up here in New Jersey last year, you look at yesterday, he outthinks himself. He's trying to do too much, and when he does, the play calls come in late. Tua doesn't. Look at the first 3 games. How many times did we even come close to hitting a delay of game.
Mhm.
There wasn't. He was getting the plays in quick, too. It was getting them to the huddle. Bang, they were at the line. 10, 12 seconds to go. They could run their motions. They could do everything they wanted to. Yesterday, after the first quarter, that wasn't happening. Guys were standing around. They had to get the ball hikes. They couldn't run motion.
I was very disappointed in abandoning the run. I agree with you on that. I think that it's hard for me to question Mike McDaniel, though, and I said this last year too, when the guy has given us the most explosive offense in the history of the NFL that we've seen in a long time, right? And
it's explosive when it's working right. It's detrimental when it's not working at all.
But Buffalo. All right, so all right, let's call a spade a spade. Buffalo has our number, right? They do. We can't deny that. They're a division opponent. If anybody knows us better than ourselves, it's Buffalo. Nobody knows us better than Buffalo. The Jets don't. The Patriots don't. Maybe, but I think Buffalo does. And not only do they know us, they have the confidence that it doesn't matter what we like. I'm telling you right now, Buffalo thinks that they can beat us no matter what right now. And I'm there's a side of me that's like, all right, y'all keep thinking like that. Y'all keep thinking like that.
Well, until we can go to Buffalo and win a game and prove them wrong, they're right.
Yes, that is true. But I still think that we're just as good as them. We just have to be able to beat them to get over the hump.
Well, and
yesterday didn't show that, though.
Well, that's because we abandoned the run, we abandoned the motion. The plays they were getting to the line way too late to try to get the ball off. You look at the first 3 games, New England, division game, a little tougher. You play them twice a year. They understand more what you're doing. But, I mean, you're watching the play clock, 3, 2, hike. All right, great. Now the defense is sitting there watching the clock. They know you've got to get the ball off. There's not 8 or 9 seconds left. There's not enough motion, guys running and then stopping and setting and another guy moving. And you just didn't see it after the first 2 drives.
Are the Dolphins all right? So the Dolphins win the next 2 games, but struggle against Philly. Are who we think they are? And that's a good team that can beat bad teams and okay teams, but when they play the elite, they struggle.
Well, I mean, that's the first. I mean, we played the Chargers week 1, and everybody's got them picked as a playoff team and winning their division, and so we played what should be a solid team there. Then the next 2, all right, you play New England.
The Patriots defense, which is a playoff defense, but their offense is atrocious.
Right. And then you play Denver, which just is not a good team. But you play these elite teams, and if you want to be one of the elites, you got to beat the elites. It's another scenario where you're looking at 11 wins, maybe 12, getting in the playoffs, maybe get a first round win, and then you're playing an elite team, and what's going to happen?
So I asked this question to another listener earlier. Do you think that a team, not just the Dolphins in general, but just teams in the NFL, can be one thing at the beginning of the year and be a totally different thing at the end of the year and evolve and get better during the course of a year?
Listen, absolutely. Go back and look at the 2 Giants teams that won Super Bowls. They were 9-7 going into the playoffs. They were the 6th seed, win 3 road games, and then win a Super Bowl. So, yes, it's definitely possible. Are we missing some pieces? Yeah, but that's not an excuse. You won the first 3 games without those pieces. You didn't have Nick Needham. You didn't have Ramsey. You still won the first 3. Then you run up against a team like Buffalo, and you can't stop them. You can't. I read something, and I don't know if it was a tweet that Howard put out saying that he would have liked to have been covering Diggs, but it's not the way the system is set up. Well, then change the damn system, Fangio. You're supposed to be a defensive genius. Move Howard over on Diggs. I like Kohu. I think he's a good player. He's still developing. He's young. But you match him up against Diggs all game long, and Diggs ends up with 3 touchdowns. And the one penalty, I will say, I think was garbage.
It was garbage.
on the
It was
pass interference.
100% garbage. To be
Both
fair,
of them.
though, yesterday the NFL had a horrible problem with penalties being called yesterday.
Oh yeah, no, it wasn't. And listen, there was a couple times early in the game, end of the first half or end of the first quarter, beginning of the second quarter, where defensive linemen for Buffalo were lined up offsides, no call. We had a false start on one of those where I'm looking at the TV and you can see the lines and the guy's helmet's in the zone and Armstead jumped, no call. So they were offsides and Armstead jumped, no call. You know, you're looking straight down the line. How are you not calling these guys offsides?
Hey, yesterday, you ready for this? Yesterday, team stats. The Buffalo Bills had 414 total yards. The Dolphins had 393.
Right. No, I mean the stats are.
The Buffalo Bills had 310 passing yards. We had 251. The rushing yards were 104 for Buffalo, 142 for us. We had 6.8 yards per play. They had 7.4 yards per play. We had 20 first downs. They had 24 first downs. We were 3 from 10 in third down. They were 5 for 10 on third down. We were 0 for 3 on fourth down. We had 58 total plays. They had 56 total plays.
And look at the two stats that killed us: turnovers and penalties.
4 sacks allowed. They had 2 sacks. We had 3 punts. They had 2 punts. We had 8 penalties. They had 4 penalties.
And look at the turnovers. Penalties and turnovers. And the one penalty on Kohu, I think, was garbage. They were both had hands on each other. He threw his arm.
If I just looked at the stats here, John.
Oh, you would think it was like a 28-24 game.
It was a close game. It was a damn close game.
Our problem
don't lie. We are a good football team.
Absolutely, I agree. But unfortunately, I think Coach Mike overthought himself, and Fangio is stuck in a system where this is what we're going to do. We're not deviating from it, and when it's not working, he's got no backup plan.
So, I like what Lofe Anime NFT just said. He said Fangio upgrade his playbook, not the talent. LOL. I
agree.
That's an interesting thought. Like nobody else has said that this morning.
That's what I'm saying. Fangio he's trying to run a system where you got Howard tweeting after the game saying he wanted to cover Diggs, but it's not in the system. Well, then change the damn system. Put the best corner you got against their best receiver. If Howard gets burned all day, then we could sit around and bitch about Howard. But when you don't give him that opportunity, how do you complain about it?
To be fair, I'm not. I like what Color said earlier. I'm not going to sit here and bitch and complain about Cater Kahu. It was his first bad, and I put that in quotations,
right?
Bad game in his NFL career. And to be fair, he was left on an island against the third best receiver in the NFL.
And that should be Howard on the island, not Kohu.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying about Fangio's system.
Cater Kahu slander will not be accepted here.
No,
okay?
No. The kid did the best he could do against one of the best receivers in the league, but it shouldn't be him covering him. It should be the guy we're paying a ton of money to play at corner. You gave Howard all this money, put him over there and let him cover Diggs. If it's one-on-one, great. If he's got some help over the top, fine. But how do you have Kohu covering Diggs instead of Howard?
I agree. And last thing I do want to say before I let you go, the third down and fourth down efficiency. I need McDaniel to call better plays on third and fourth down.
Oh, the fourth down calls were atrocious.
Horrible.
You're trying to run a 5-second play on a 4th and 1 with a pass. Give the ball to Ingold, bring Wilkinson in front of him, give it to Ingold, pound in the line, run up behind him.
I'm okay with you giving it to Achane. If we fail on giving the ball to Achane on 4th and 1, I can live with that.
Right.
I don't like it, but I can live with it.
I agree. Not dropping back trying to find an open receiver when they're coming at you full bore and you got nowhere to go and you're taking sacks on 4th and 1. Play calling was atrocious on 4th down.
Now, again, to be fair, before this game, he had only been sacked once all year, and he had only been touched 5 times.
Listen, sacks are going to happen. They're part of the game. Coverage is good. A guy slips. A guy runs the wrong route. It happens. It's just like a penalty. It happens. It's, there are things. You're playing 2 professional teams. Things happen. You're going to give up plays. You're not going to stop every single play they run and shut every team out. It's just not happening. But when you're putting your guys in situations, to me, it's the 2 coaches.
Yep, I agree. All right, brother. Hey, man, you look good.
It's
I'll
good
see
to
you
see
in
you,
2
brother.
weeks, right?
Yeah, I'll be down there this weekend, and then I'll be down there next weekend for Carolina.
Club weekend. Hey, do you want to see something cool real quick before I let you go?
Yeah,
JC Art. I don't know if you follow him on social media, but he
I'd have
made
to
this
look.
for me this weekend. How
Oh,
dope is
dude,
that?
that is awesome.
How dope is that, bro? Shout out to JC _ Texas _ art.
Nice work. I like that.
I get this random thing. I get a message from him, and he's like, "Bro, look what I made for you." And I was like, "Bro, let me repay you." He's like, "Man," he's like, "You do the show every day." So shout out to JC Texas art. I love that thing, man.
Yeah, that is absolutely beautiful.
It's hold on. It's hold on. There we go.
There you go.
I mean, that's pretty.
Yeah,
That looks good. I don't care what anybody says. That looks really good.
absolutely.
I miss you, buddy. Be good, man.
I'll see you in a couple weeks, brother. Love you.
Sounds good, man. Bye.
Bye.
Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show. Rashad. Good morning, Rashad.
Is it?
It is we woke up this morning, okay?
I mean, y'all don't make it sound like it's a good morning. I hear a lot
we're
of
gonna be fine, Rashad. We're gonna be fine.
I hope so.
We're gonna be good. Okay?
We were here last year, and we started.
Tailgater asked, does Tehran play next week? We don't know yet. I'm gonna say no, probably not, but we don't know yet officially.
We were here last year, and we did the exact same thing that we're doing right now. We're placing blame, and we're jumping ahead. All I keep hearing about is Philly, as if we don't play next Sunday. We do this we did the same thing with the Chargers. Oh yeah, that's going to be a win. We're going to beat Green Bay. We're going to beat the Patriots. Let's just we'll see Buffalo. I think no. Pay attention. We have injuries. We have issues. We have weaknesses. These ain't no gimme games. We're not as strong as we were week 1. We are weaker.
We're weaker than we were week 1?
Yeah.
I disagree with that.
Well, I give us a chain. I say we're weaker because teams are now finding ways, or
no.
Teams
A division rival found out what we already knew, or what they knew. And because they do it every time against us.
Okay.
Here's the other thing to it, Rashad. You can know how to beat us, but having the personnel to do so is a different story. And I don't know if I think there's maybe 4 or 5 teams that have the personnel to beat us. Otherwise, that's it. That's it.
Hey, I got a question. Did the Chargers have the?
They did not, because we outplayed them. We were fine.
No, we did not. We got destroyed.
Are you talking about last year? I'm talking about this, but I'm not. Did we not just play them in week 1 and beat them? Why are we bringing up last year Chargers game?
Doing the same thing we did last year.
You're breaking up a little bit.
Who is this? Door. The same thing last year. We jumped to conclusions, started placing blame. Now it's Vic Fangio's fault. He's fighting.
What happened, Rashad? You muted yourself. You muted.
Yeah. Okay.
What are you doing?
I'm buddy is in my business.
Tell me to get out of your business. Tell me you're on Clock Blockers.
We did the start placing blame. I said this yesterday. Anybody here will be Fangio. He's trying to into round holes. He's being. I don't know why he's doing it, but he's doing it. If you don't have, take advantage of the ones that you have. Use it to your intentionally run something that you feel you can't run. Personnel.
Rashad, get better internet. Get better internet, Rashad. I'm disappointed in you right now.
You still
Boo
can't
this
hear
man.
me?
Boo this man. Rashad,
All right, I'm out there.
I love you. I do like Rashad a lot. That's my guy. Paul said his Wi-Fi is as good as Fangio's defense. Not that good. More on the job training for Mac. What's Fangio's excuse? Bip Bop, I don't have an excuse for Fan. It is the fourth game with a new defensive coordinator and a new system. Am I happy that we gave up 48 points? No. But understand, we gave up 48 points to a team that's been scoring 40 the prior 2 weeks. It's not like we gave up 40 to a scrub team. We gave up 40 points against a really good football team. Now, did I say that week before that they were? No, I thought they were frauds, to be fair. I was corrected. All right. But I do agree that over time, teams can change, teams can evolve, teams can get better. This is week 4. Let's see what we do over the next couple of weeks, which I think we're going to win. We're going to beat the Giants. We're going to beat Carolina. And then we're going to go into this Sunday night game in Philadelphia. And it's going to be a good time. Like, we're going to be fine. I promise y'all on everything. We're going to be fine. We're going to be good. Take it back. We're going to be fine. I don't think that we're frauds. I think that we're a team that's going to get better over the course of the year. And as long as we get better over the course of the year, does that mean we need to go 15-1? No, it does not. We're going to lose 2 or 3 more games, maybe 4. But, I mean, I said at the beginning of the year, I said we have a chance to go 13-3. The biggest 3 games I said were Buffalo in Buffalo, Philly in Philly, and Kansas City in Germany. And there's going to be some other difficult games too. Dallas, right? You know, a couple of other games, but we're going to be okay. We're going to make the playoffs. We're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. Stop. Don't hit the panic button. We're going to be good. Going to be good. Just let it play out. Let it play out. Willie, good morning, Willie.
What's up, Steven? How you doing?
Pretty good, man. How are you?
I'm doing, I've been better, thank you. I just want to make sure, can you hear me okay? I don't think my internet's perfect.
Nope. We hear you good. You're good for now.
All right, great. So I just wanted to make a couple of points, not going to take up a lot of time. Just going to say a couple of things and bounce, I'll let you continue. So first of all, I just wanted to ask, because I personally haven't. Have you ever seen one player dominate one team as much as Josh Allen dominates the Dolphins? Like legitimately, I'm asking.
Yeah,
can you think of any other examples of such?
I mean, Tom Brady against most of the NFL for years.
Yeah. And that's what's interesting. It's because I thought that we played Brady like a lot better than we play Josh Allen.
We
We
were the only team in the NFL to play Brady good. We were the only team in the NFL to play Brady good.
Yeah, it's interesting because Brady's career in Miami, it's not great. I think he's below 500 in Miami against us. So that was interesting. But a couple of people already touched on it. I have no idea what the hell Fangio was doing yesterday because I like the idea of giving Kohu a shot against Diggs. Diggs is awesome. But if you were going to put Kohu on an island against Diggs, then you would think there would be some pressure on the quarterback because you would think then there would be extra blitzers. But there weren't. It didn't seem like we blitzed often. So I don't know where the rest of the defense was. If Kohu was one-on-one with Diggs, then where the hell was everybody else? That was an odd defensive game plan that it was ridiculous that we didn't really seem to try to adjust. And also, I think the last guy that got up made a good point about the next couple of games that, like, look, I do think gun to my head we're going to win. But the people forget, like, the strength of our O-line big time was outside of the bad snaps, Connor Williams and also Armstead, like having both of those guys out hurts a lot. Lamb has played well, but Eichenberg to me is like not even a rosterable NFL player. He's just a disaster. So I think, going forward, yeah, we got some big tests, in Philly and then at Buffalo, we play Kansas City. We got to take care of business with the rest of the teams. Last thing I want to say is just, look, I was very upset yesterday. I was upset that I let this team get my hopes up again, and we do seem to be cursed at 3-0 for some reason. But the NFL history is littered with examples of teams that took a beating in a regular season game or two and went on to win the Super Bowl. I can think of, the 2007 Giants, for example. I think we're good. We're not as great as we were against Denver. We're not as bad as we were yesterday. I think Tua is still on an MVP pace. If you watch what Mahomes did last night.
Tua played good. Tua didn't play bad yesterday. He was 280 something with a touchdown and an interception. He was sacked 4 times. It's whatever. But understand when I tell
Mahomes,
he's playing good.
Absolutely. I mean, he was under pressure the entire game. I mean, Leon Eichenberg is just a disaster. And I was going to say, I mean, if you watch Mahomes last night, Mahomes threw a couple interceptions too. Every quarterback is going to do that. You're not going to be perfect every single game. So negative narratives about Tua should not fly. But like I said, I think overall we're still, on a pretty good pace. But if we don't, solve what's happening up front on the offensive line, if we don't adjust the game plan on defense, and if we don't, also fix what's happening in the front seven, then we're not going to make it out of the first round of the playoffs. But that's all I want to say. It's still Tua time. Go Fins. I'll talk to you later, Steven.
All right, Willie. Appreciate it, man. Be good. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers. Greg, let's try this again. You're on mute, Greg. You're on mute.
Hear me.
I can hear you. Try it again.
Hear me?
I can.
All right. What can go wrong will go wrong. This team is cursed, I swear. I swear this team is cursed still. Every single time we start 3-0, we always lose the next game. We can never get to 4-0. Like my freshman year, I think, in high school, this team, we beat mediocre teams, and then we get our ass kicked by New England, and now it happened again. Now, I'm not going to say, Steven, the season's over. I'm not going to go in my mode yesterday that the season's over, because it's not. The Buffalo Bills, congratulations. You won your Super Bowl. You won your Week 4 Super Bowl. Hang the banner already. But, Steven, this defense sucks. This defense, Vic Fangio, this old guy, has Cater Kohu. And I love Cater Kohu. But Cater Kohu's still a young lad. And he's on Diggs, who's like an all-pro receiver. Now, I'm not going to question anything, because I'm not the coach. I'm not getting paid. I'm just sitting here watching this nonsense. But this defense is overhyped. Christian Wilkins, you want to get paid, buddy. Where are you? I haven't seen you hurt a quarterback or go after a quarterback yet. You haven't done nothing. Raekwon Davis, haven't seen him. Zach Seiler, I love you, but where has he been? Bradley Chubb, overpaid, overhyped. Where has he been? Howard, locked them down. Brandon Jones was like a statue yesterday. Javon Holland and Andrew Van Ginkel. Whenever you come up to New England, you're more than welcome to come. You're the best players on the team. On defense. I'm just sick and tired of losing to Buffalo. Every time we play Buffalo, it's like they kick me below the belt. They take my liver. They take my kidneys. They take my hope all away. Every time.
Are you okay, Greg? You still there?
I'm still here.
Greg, I got hopium for you. The Dolphins are
But
going to
the
be
Bills
fine.
took that.
No, they don't. The only people that can take hopium away from you is yourself. Okay? Only you can take away your hopium. I can replenish it. I can give you a new bag, a new supply of hopium. And let me tell you, Greg, the Dolphins are going to be fine. They're going to win. They're going to be fine. We're going to be 5-1 in 2 weeks.
We're
We're gonna be 5-1 in 2
I hope
weeks.
so. I mean, I was going on a little tangent yesterday. I was telling my dad when we were watching the game, we'll probably end up losing to the Giants or the Panthers, one of the two.
No,
On my little rant I had.
we're gonna be fine.
But yeah, that's all I got. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll be fine.
I love you,
we're
brother.
gonna. Yes, we'll be fine, ladies and gentlemen, as long as we don't play the Chiefs. Because the Jets, by the way, I don't know if you're watching, the Jets got screwed over last night.
Dude, I felt like I said this earlier in the show. I hate the NFL so much right now because they're making me have empathy for the Jets. And I don't want to feel anything remotely nice for the Jets. But last night, man, I was feeling it for Zach Wilson and I was feeling it for them. And I was like, man, they got screwed over. They got screwed over. Like there's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. They got screwed over last night. And I hate that the NFL did that to me because I don't ever want to feel that way about the Jets. I hate the Jets with a passion. I hate the Jets.
I was on a 3-hour deal with the Jets. I was their biggest fan because I hate the Chiefs so much now. So, but it's Dolphins. Because that Lombardi, ladies and gentlemen, has one name on it. What everybody's saying. Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins. Yeah.
We're going to be all right, Greg. I love you, brother.
All right. We're going to beat the shit out of the Giants. 56-20 next week.
And you're going to come up here singing a different tune. I ain't mad at you. Be good. Love Greg. I love Greg. I love him. Tony, you're it, man.
Steven, before you ask me the question, I want to ask you the question. What happened to your prediction that we were going to blow out the Bills? What happened?
My thought process of Buffalo was they beat 3 bad quarterbacks. And honestly, it had more to do with last year than it did this year. Was that team? I thought Buffalo were frauds. I have to admit, I thought that. I was like, they didn't beat great teams, and we should have beat them in the final 2 games. And I know why we didn't win the last 2 games, because injuries being one and play calling being the other in the fourth quarter of the December game. So I felt like we had Buffalo's number finally. I thought it was finally our time to do it. And that's what hurt most for me last week was, man, yesterday was, I thought we were ready to make that next transition, that next step against a really good football team or a good football franchise. And I thought that we had overtaken them. And I was wrong, and I can admit that I was wrong. And I think that we need to look at ourselves and inside ourselves and be like, oh, we're not all that in a box of chicken. My prayer and hope is that this was a wake-up call for me, for the fan base, for the team itself, because I don't want them to lose that way again this year to anyone.
Steven, I'm gonna say this. I think I think the one team that I'm worried about that might do that to us is the Eagles.
Look, I'll be there. I'll be live in person there in 2 weeks, so we'll see.
Yeah, to me, Fangio was kind of overhyped, to be honest. He seems very archaic now with the play calling. And he's not
archaic. He's not like it's so easy to rip him when we allow 48 points. If he does this multiple times, I'm not saying again, do I think we're going to give up that again? Probably. But I need to see progression, little things. Just let me see little progressions. And as we evolve and get better throughout the year, my hope is that by the end of the year, we're a really good defense. And I think we have the opportunity to do that.
Yeah,
but I don't think he's archaic.
To me, that's what I've been saying. I think he's a slot. He's not a boundary corner. He is way too. He's not as fast as people. He's not as good as people make him out to be in the boundary. Besides his tackling, it seemed like he's not good in coverage. He's not as good in coverage as people make him out to be.
You talking about who are you talking about? Cater. Cater's an undrafted rookie free agent who's in his second year, who played outplayed what anybody thought imaginable was last year. And for the first 3 games was really good through the first 3 games. The guy is also
think
playing.
It was more
Hold on,
mistakes, not
Tony. The guy's also playing in the same new system that all the other defensive players are playing in. He was also playing against the number 3 best wide receiver in all of the NFL. He's a good
I wouldn't
player.
say top 3. I wouldn't say top 3.
Stephon Diggs is probably the 3rd or 4th best wide receiver in all of the NFL, and it's
Yeah,
not even close.
Yeah. Do you think it was Fangio making the mistake not having X cover him?
Yeah, I don't understand why X wasn't on him. I heard what X said in his tweet yesterday, but I also think that's on Fangio too for not allowing that to happen, because if I'm X, I'm calling upstairs and saying, let me have him. I want him. What do I got to do? Just let me, I can stop him. Even if he couldn't, like, he should have tried. Like, and I'm not saying him. I'm saying Fangio should have allowed him to do that.
Or at least double cut. It seemed like he wasn't really using the safeties like I thought he was.
To be fair, my heart tells me that he would have gotten killed the same way Cater would have. But at least I would have liked to have seen it.
Even if he had Javon Holland bracketing him, helping him bracket.
Well, Javon Holland could only do so much yesterday too. Like I'm not saying like Javon can't be in 10 places at once. He has to cover his area. He can't, like, I don't know what
I think this is why I'm saying I think we might need to trade. I understand why people are attached to Brandon Jones because we drafted him, but he does not fit this system. He's not a system
Brandon
fit.
Jones?
BJ, yeah.
Brandon Jones, look, this defensive roster was not put together for this system, but that's where I need Fangio to say, okay, can I get what I want out of these guys in my system, or should I adjust my system so that I can get the most out of these guys to be effective? And what I heard in the preseason this year when he was hired was, I've watched 100 million hours of game film. I sat in front of a computer for 1 full season, and all I did was watch film of the entire NFL. So if anybody, like, he shouldn't be set to one defense. You're talking about somebody who told me in the press conference when he was hired that I've seen it all. I know what we need to do in order to win football games, and it's not just one thing; it's multiple things.
Yeah.
Well, you haven't
you
haven't made any adjustments yet, from what I've seen.
Yeah, no, but what I understand what you're saying, that the mark of a great defensive coordinator is adjusting his scheme to the players, not the other way around.
Correct.
But his limited athleticism since the injury, it seems like I don't think the reason why I'm saying I think Fangio needs more athletic safeties, and Brandon Jones is not that he's a good athlete, but you need great athletes at safety for this scheme. And I don't think his athleticism is good enough for this scheme where he needs all his safeties to be moved around, being able to move around instead of being having a guy who's pigeonholed into a box safety.
Look, I get that. I understand it. All right, Tony, I appreciate you coming on, man. Be good.
Be good.
Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. I hope you all enjoyed the show today. I did. It was a lot of fun hanging out with y'all. Y'all the best fans in the world. If you guys like today's show, there was 83 likes. Let's try to get over 100. Can we get 17 more likes to get over 100? If you guys also like today's content, donate to the channel. Help the channel grow. We can't grow without your help. And in order to be effective, we need your help. So if you were able to donate. If you can't, share the link. Let people know that we're here. And most importantly, above all, have people subscribe to the channel, because we are, I want to say, before the show, we were 31 new subscribers away from 11,000. So we're close to 11,000 subscribers. So let's get it up there. If you know a friend or somebody who's watching who likes the Dolphins, tell them to subscribe to the channel. Can't grow without your help. I appreciate everybody's love on today's show for Therapy Monday. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is why I do the show, for you, the fans. Tomorrow's Hot Take Tuesday. Tomorrow, I'm going to have DJ Genesis on for a hot minute, and maybe a couple of other special guests. And then Wednesday's Wilding Out Wednesday, which I'm sure will be a fun one this week with the loss. And then Thursday, I'm going to have Cameron on along with Tamaris for celebrity NFL picks. And then Friday, I'll have Jason Sarney on for Spread Kindness Friday. And so I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. It was a lot of fun. Hit the like button, share the link, let people know that we're here. We'll see y'all tomorrow right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Peace.
I know the whole city riding. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter collar. Whole squad been trained to go. Been for life, we throw the foe. Singing this just to welcome bro. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine.